Well, there's my beautiful podcast, people. Everybody good? All right, great to hear. Thanks, as always, for listening to the podcast. And, of course, thanks to our friends at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning for making it all possible. Can we believe it's April already? And like the old saying goes, April showers brings gross, disgusting humidity and heat in May. Beat the heat and the summer rush. Have Standard Heating and Air Conditioning out to work on that AC soon. April is the best month to get your air conditioning wrenched on before the huge summer rush starts. So get on that today. Go to standardheating.com and schedule that AC tune-up. Thanks for listening. We love you podcasters. Enjoy the show.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. 93.
Yeah, I suppose we better get going again here on the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. Hope everyone is just great. And we welcome you to the program. How you doing, Josh?
Very well. How about yourself?
I'm off to a bad start.
Oh, no. What happened?
I've been forgetful this morning. I forgot to bring a thing or two with me to work, you know what I mean? Nothing huge, but enough to piss me off.
Yeah, I think everyone gets that way at times.
Very forgetful this morning. I left my unicycle in the Uber that brought me into work.
Bummer.
Forgot my, Uber. How the hell do I say that?
Uber.
Bob Euchre. What is it? Uber?
Yep.
They were nice enough to dump a fun list on us yesterday. They put together their lost and found index for us.
I love when they do this.
You're enjoying yourself?
Yeah, because sometimes it's absolutely insane. Some of the stuff people bring with them and forget in Uber. It's all alcohol-related, I'd imagine.
I would imagine a lot of it is alcohol-related memory lapses, yeah.
I've never forgotten anything in an Uber, thank God.
No, I never have much on me.
Just
You know
my
what I mean?
dignity.
Dignity?
Yep, just my dignity.
Yeah, I bet you've left that behind.
Yeah.
And not necessarily just ride shares. A lot of vehicles, a lot of places.
Yeah, I mean, I can't recall ever getting into a cab or a Uber or a Lyft or any of those gimmicks where I had anything to worry about other than my keys, wallet, cell phone. You pat your pockets before you get in, you pat your pockets before you get out. But there are some folks here who, they travel with items and some very interesting items. Now, of course, most folks could easily guess what the most common items left behind were last year. You got your cellular telephone, you got your wallet, your keys, luggage, and headphones. But like I was saying, I don't travel with much, so
I think
I've also never had a problem leaving anything behind.
But you're more someone who takes it to be responsible when you're going out drinking.
Right.
Some people, that's their transportation.
Exactly.
So if they're going to the grocery store, they're going to Target, they're going wherever.
You forget that, but you're right.
And so that's probably why they do that.
Mm-hmm. So Uber shared a list of the common things, and we went as far with that list as we can. But they also wrote up some of the oddball things that folks forgot in the Uber last year. And we start with a mannequin. Well, a mannequin head with human hair.
We used to have a couple of those.
Yeah, cosmetology school.
Exactly.
Oh, I thought maybe hardcore legend Al Snow was in town.
So what now, Josh? You used to have, why did you have?
A couple of those. When my stepdaughter went to Aveda.
Oh.
She would have some of those to practice hairstyle and stuff.
Sure.
I guess I can't say it was human hair, but I think that's what it was.
And Ashley, same experience for you? You had some hair cutting job or something?
No, I actually had one of those when I moved to Wisconsin and I made a bunch of friends with the local women. That was something they did to like introduce you into the friend group kind of vibe. You would get one of these heads that is used for cosmetology school and you were able to decorate it or do whatever you wanted to it.
Huh?
It was very odd,
All right.
but I liked it. I thought it was a cute bit. I put some earrings that were thumbtacks into the thing. Did its hair all cool.
So glad you live in Minnesota again.
I thought it was a cool bit.
A mannequin head with human hair was left behind in an Uber, a Viking drinking horn.
I wonder if that was here.
Oh, I bet it was, yeah.
Could have been, or
Renaissance Festival.
in any town with a Renaissance show.
I've got one of those.
I'm sorry?
I have one of those. You have to be careful with it, though.
You have a Viking horn.
Yeah, if you use it backwards, which it actually, the backwards way is the way that would make the most sense if you're looking at one of them. The beer will rush down and hit you in your face and you'll spill it everywhere. So it's kind of fun to play that prank on people that don't know how to use it.
I would have no idea.
Someone left a chainsaw behind in their Uber.
No.
Josh, what can you do with a chainsaw?
That'll make your ass raw. Don't do that.
I'll give you a hint on the next item left behind in an Uber, Josh. It is a critter that you very much like.
Well, I like turtles.
Turtle?
Poor turtle is probably so scared.
I like it when
I like turtles.
It's crazy how many live animals are left behind in these Ubers. I think there's a few on this list. You hear that, too, and you wonder, how do you forget a pet?
Let me see here. Oh, yeah, there are a few more live animals. Good question. Well, let's get to the next animals, and maybe we can come up with whether we think it would be easy or difficult to forget these creatures. A turtle?
Or maybe they, quote-unquote, forgot that they left a turtle behind.
Sure. A turtle? Yeah, I don't know. Someone left a urinal.
That's impressive.
In an Uber. Impressive in what way?
The fact they were traveling with an urinal and then somehow didn't think to take that urinal with them.
I would be so excited. I pretty much begged my wife to put in a urinal. She wouldn't let us do it.
That would have been cool.
I don't know why. And our realtor even said, bad idea.
Oh, really?
Yeah, don't do that.
It does. I've seen pictures before of folks who have put a urinal up on the on their personal bathroom wall, and it looks great. I think it looks.
I'm with you. I would love to have one.
What's the word I'm going for here? It's a word you might use, or you might hear used on those "I'll fix your house" type shows.
Open concept?
No, I'll get there. But a urinal on the wall at your home.
Good bones. That's another thing you always hear in those shows. Oh, this house has good bones.
No, I don't know. That's not it either. Somebody left behind some Shrek ears. Okay, some Halloween type stuff, I would imagine here. Shrek ears. Someone else left behind a witch's broom. And Uber does say the Saturday before Halloween is our most forgetful day. Sure, you're not used to trying to remember your Shrek ears or your witch's broom. It's not. Hopefully you don't have those items on you day after day. It's just a Halloween thing. See, and the other thing that grabs me, Josh, is if I'm the Uber driver, I don't allow a lot of this stuff in my effing car. But they want to make their money, so they're very open-minded. That's my guess, right? Because Uber people usually drive their own cars, right?
Yep.
Can they set their own rules?
Yeah, you can deny a fare for any reason why.
Like if they're drunk, like you just sounded?
Yeah, pretty much.
And if it's my friggin' car, maybe you're not getting into my car with a chainsaw. You know what I mean?
I wouldn't let anybody in my vehicle with a chainsaw.
But at the same time, you want to make some cash. I mean, this is your thing. This is your gig. So that's where I'm going next with the next item on the list. Items that were left behind in Ubers last year. 2 mattresses? You're not getting in my car with 2 mattresses. I'm not a U-Haul. I'm just a car. You know what I mean? But someone forgot 2 mattresses.
That's insane.
That's something you think I wonder if that was a split second forget where the Uber driver's like, bruh, you got to untie those mattresses. Or did the Uber guy also forget?
Good question. It also could be a case, you brought it up a minute ago, where you, in air quotes, forgot your 2 mattresses. Those things are kind of a pain in the ass to get rid of. So maybe that was a slick...
Cheaper than a dumpster.
Right, a slick scam pulled off by the customer. Yeah, I got to take these 2 mattresses down to this other address, and you leave them up there. 15 hookahs were left in an Uber. Some kind of pot smoking device? What is a hookah again?
It's for tobacco. They call it shisha, but...
I'm sorry?
They call it shisha. It's a type of tobacco.
We have a
Flavored
hookah
tobacco.
lounge by us. A couple of them, actually.
How big is one hookah?
I
They can be large.
Yeah, I was going to say, I've never seen one just at somebody's house, but the ones they've got at those hookah lounges are pretty big.
Yeah, I guess the one that we had at my house for a while was about 2 feet tall.
Dude. 15 hookahs. Okay. An aquarium was left behind. A DNA testing kit. Somebody was up against it.
Yeah. People are bringing up a good point about those mattresses. I forgot you can get those, the ones you order and they show up in a box.
Oh, yeah, those are so fancy.
Are those any good?
Yes.
Yeah, they are. They're fantastic.
That's crazy. Are they are? I mean, they're
Yes.
very popular, so they must be, but...
I love watching them grow.
I got a mattress in a box a number of years ago, and I got to watch it grow. It was really cool. You cut the plastic loose, and pa-boom, it just slowly but surely, maybe slowly isn't the word, but it expands. And I forgot about that, Josh. You're probably right.
Yeah, I forgot those existed.
I'm picturing,
great
of course,
idea.
a big flopping mattress being tied to the ceiling of the...
Yeah, as was I. That's got to be what it was.
Here's a guy who left behind his unicycle, which sucks because unicycles are fun. And one day I'm going to get the hang of that sumbitch, and I'm going to be that dork in my hometown that just rides around constantly seeking attention. And I'm going to put a parrot on my shoulder.
We've got those in Egan. There's a unicycle club. You could join if you really wanted to.
What?
What else did folks leave behind in their Uber? A huge bouquet of 100 roses? Well, that probably was... I'm picturing a lady received them on a date, and on the way home, she decided she didn't like the guy anymore, so leave him behind, right? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a lot of roses.
Jesus, someone left behind a cone. Chris Paul was left in an Uber.
He's a cone.
What they mean here is a traffic cone, a plunger.
If you're getting into an Uber with a plunger, it's got to be an emergency of some sort.
Oh, yeah. Someone called Uber after their ride home and told them, hey, I lost a photo that I took at Benihana. I don't know why that makes the list, but they lost a photo that they took at Benihana. Someone left behind a cactus, hard-boiled eggs, a sewing machine.
Oh, those aren't light, unless maybe new ones are.
Yeah, the ones from the old days.
Yeah, I had to move my grandma's when she passed. My goodness, that was heavy.
Your grandma's sewing machine.
Yeah, holy cow.
Here's the next animals or pets, maybe, that were left in Ubers. Cornish hens. Also, a placard that said, and this irritates me, the placard said, it's a Philly thing.
Awesome.
Like Philadelphia.
Oh.
You know, the East Coast people love to play that card. Hey, it's a Jersey thing.
Jersey thing is one you hear the most.
Hey, I'm from New York. Hey, I'm from Philly. They love that gimmick. That blanket statement that excuses some stupid act. Hey, I'm from New York. 10 live lobsters were left in an Uber. Man, that would be a wonderful little accident if I were the Uber driver. If I had any idea, first thing I would do is call someone who knows how to prepare and cook lobster.
I know someone who knows how to win a lobster, and that's Ashley.
Oh, that was so much fun.
I saw her win a live lobster once.
I would need somebody to teach me how to cook the lobster and also how to eat the lobster. I've never had it, and it looks like a lot of cracking involved and
Step one.
tiny little forks and
You
stuff.
need a large butcher knife.
It can be a pain in the ass. So, yeah, find somebody who knows how to, okay, fine. Prepare it, cook it, and take it apart for you. What did you say, Ashley?
You need a large butcher knife.
Butcher
Step
knife.
one.
Okay. You've prepared lobster before?
I used to work at Red Lobster, and so I saw them prepare it, and it was kind of sad, but also fun.
I love that stuff.
Mixed emotions.
Someone left behind some Hannah Montana merchandise,
Oh, no.
That could be worth some money.
It's a tragedy.
divorce papers. They thought maybe if they didn't bring the stuff home, it wouldn't be official, maybe.
That would really suck, actually. Then you have to go through the process of getting them again.
I hear this said out loud, but I don't know what it is. What is Ozempic?
It's I believe it's for diabetes, but People use it to lose weight.
Right. Okay. I know the stuff.
Dana, didn't you tell me, I find this absolutely crazy, that the resort you stayed at, they were just like selling it over the counter?
Yeah, just right there on the counter. Oh, would you like some Ozempic with your Gatorade? You could just buy it right there.
Crazy.
I know.
I'd love Mexican resort Ozempic.
Because I know people, like, they have a hard time tracking it down. I was like, should I buy some and try to flip some Mexican Ozempic in America? And I figured it probably wasn't worth the hassle and potential legal risks.
Uber also put together a separate list of the 20 weirdest food items left behind, and they were a 5-gallon bucket of beans.
I could go through that quick.
Wow, that's a lot of beans.
That's my summer.
Ugh.
I eat a lot of beans, too, in the summer.
The only beans that I enjoy are the grilling beans that you can get. Otherwise, throw them in the trash.
I don't know grilling beans.
You mean baked beans?
Yeah, baked beans. Thank you.
Oh. Okay. Why did you refer to them as grilling beans?
Because I only ever have them when I'm eating hot dogs or brats or burgers.
Oh,
Fair enough.
sure. That makes sense. That's the only time I think anybody has baked beans is when they're having a cookout. Someone left behind 175 sliders. One of my old drinking pals, he was one of these guys that would just get trashed out of his effing mind and then demand whoever was giving him a ride home to take him through the, the White Castle drive-thru. And then while we're waiting for his sliders to be prepared, he would pass out, and then the driver would go home with 2 Crave cases.
It's been a while since I've been to White Castle. I think we have one not too far from me.
Some bitch would demand 2 Crave cases from the back seat, and then before it was done...
Every Christmas, we'd get my dad a box of sliders.
They're delicious.
Oh, yeah.
Although there was a Quiet Riot show at Medina a number of years ago that wished I wouldn't have... that crowd wished I wouldn't have had leftover White Castle sliders before I came to the show.
Didn't agree with you?
Oh, my God.
Just smoke that place out.
Oh, my God. It was so bad. Even Curtis wouldn't stand next to me, and he's one of my closest friends. Someone left behind a bucket of feta? Feta? What is that?
Cheese. Like the crumbly cheese you get like at a Mediterranean restaurant?
I don't dangle with
good
that.
Stuff.
I don't play any games with that. Ooh, someone missed out on some diarrhea. They left behind their gallon of Sunny Delight in the Uber cab.
That would bum me out so much.
Ooh, Sunny D, all right.
Gosh, I haven't had that in forever, and when I remember that I haven't had it, I end up getting one, and then I realize that the acid reflux is just it's not the same as when I was little.
I remember thinking it was so delicious, and it's not Sunny D's fault. It's probably my constitution. But it would just be horrible diarrhea after.
Really?
Oh, just the worst. You hand me any screen, and I will defecate through it after you give me a glass of Sunny Delight.
Oh, I never had that issue.
Someone left behind 108 eggs
That's an odd amount.
That is expensive nowadays.
in their Uber. God bless the Uber drivers, the Lyft drivers, the cab drivers. Oh, there'd be quite a few less of us if it wasn't for those people.
Oh, you're not kidding.
Oh, my God.
I found a cell phone in the back of an Uber once, and my girlfriend and I at the time, we went through their contacts to find somebody who might be able to get in touch with this person. We went through all this work. We finally got in touch with this person. We said, we'll meet you at the Mall of America. That was a convenient location for both of us. And we thought, we're doing a really great deed. We're not expecting anything in return, but this is something really nice we're doing. We're going out of our way to get this person her cell phone back. The woman could not have been meaner and more rude to us, as if we were the ones that left the cell phone in the Uber. And I was like, we brought it to you. I could have easily just thrown this in the bush, you know? I didn't have to go out of my way to do this.
In the bush.
You can at least say thank you.
That's
People
nice of you
suck,
to do.
Dana.
I know.
You should have held her down and force-fed her Sunny Delight and White Castle sliders.
Personally, I probably would have just gave it to the Uber driver because they can just look up who the last person was that was in their Uber.
Alcohol was involved, actually. We weren't really thinking clearly.
I like that you took it upon yourself to do that.
We're just like, oh, let's do a good deed for somebody.
Ma'am, we looked at every one of your pictures.
Hold her down, give her some Sunny D and some White Castle sliders, and then lock every bathroom within 5 miles. People are dicks. Oh, man. Here's Medical Device Jesus, who was texted in to say the best time for baked beans is the next day. Cold, straight from the refrigerator, thick, gelatinous, cold, day after beans.
I'll eat those, yeah.
Oh, God, no.
I'm going to throw up.
That sounds horrible.
Oh, it's good.
You'll
Sounds
eat
amazing.
Ice cold baked beans?
Well, I wouldn't say ice cold, but sure, cold baked beans. I'm fine with that.
Yuck skis. AC/DC coming to town tomorrow night, Josh.
That's pretty sweet.
Have they made
Never
any?
seen them.
Oh, well, then you should be going because my question was going
There's
to
no
be.
way I can go. No
Oh.
way. I've got too many events this week. I don't like more than one event this week, and I've got 3 of them. I can't go.
I'm.
Don't put the pressure.
No. You're panicking over there. It's fine that you're not going. I do wish you would have seen them, but here's the question I was going to ask you. Have they made any formal announcement that this is it for them?
Not that I've seen.
Not that it matters in the rock and roll or wrestling or boxing world when you announce that you're retiring. Even if AC/DC has said this is our last tour, that means they'll be back in a couple of summers. But I wish you would have seen them, Josh, just in case this is their last go-around because, I mean, they're one of the greatest ever. But anyway, they're coming to town tomorrow night. Now, if you're a big fan, they've got like some kind of a pop-up gimmick happening. Pop-up party spot. What's the proper way to say this?
Yeah, pop-up. It's cool. Like in this case, it's like a little bar. It's cool that a lot of bands are doing this now. And I wonder if it's a symptom of not making any money on their music anymore, and you kind of do that kind of thing on the side.
Dude.
But it's cool. You're with a bunch of other fans. You get to experience some stuff that normally you wouldn't. This is cool. I mean, Metallica did that, right? They had a couple pop-ups and takeovers and things like that.
Okay. The Power Up Tour coming to the new Metrodome tomorrow night. I got a couple of bros that are going. I'm punking out, too, just because I'm too old and it's a school night. But I've seen them multiple times. Starting tomorrow, starting today, there's a pop-up AC/DC type of a setup at a bar called the Machine Shop. 2nd Street Southeast in Minneapolis. Maybe you know the joint. Starting today and then tomorrow, the day of the show. Stop by. They've got AC/DC props, exclusive merch, a special vinyl release, maybe of their latest record, Power Up. Go to 93x.com for more information. I have not experienced one of these things before, these little pop-up party zones.
I went to a really cool one for Kevin Smith, a.k.a. Silent Bob from the Jay and Silent Bob movies. There's a fictional fast food restaurant in a lot of his movies called Moobies. And First Avenue set up a Moobies where you could go and order food, like the cow tipper and all the food from the movies. And they had a bunch of props there, and Kevin Smith was hanging out taking pictures. It was awesome.
That's really cool. Mm-hmm. I like that they do this kind of thing.
Yeah.
Adds a little something.
I'm sorry, did I miss something? Peg Leg Jesus has texted in. Ashley, you recently said I had that on Monday. What were you referring to?
Baked beans with Doritos.
Oh, cold baked beans?
I had them hot. She didn't specifically say whether they were cold or not. But yeah, that's the best. You can't eat baked beans if you don't have chips to scoop them with.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I just used like a fork or a spoon to scoop them with, whatever they give me at the barbecue.
No, the best is you got to use the chips.
Never tried that. And obviously, well, I guess maybe it's not obvious, but usually when I have a cookout, wiener, brats on the grill, sure, you've got your baked beans, and then you've got some type of a chip, and I am a big Doritos guy. Never tried it.
Another brick in the wall, Jesus said he's working on a building right next to the stadium, and they heard AC/DC practicing Monday. Sounded amazing, even a couple blocks away, he said. I didn't realize obviously they're going to be in town today. I didn't realize they've been in town that long.
This is the first show of this leg of the tour, I think. I think they had been playing overseas, and then they took a long break, and this is the first show of maybe the U.S. leg of their tour, so I never considered that they'd hang out here for a few days. Well, if just by chance anyone from AC/DC is listening right now, thank you. I've been a fan of yours since I came out the chute. You're effing incredible. If it wasn't for you, I'd be a completely a very different person, I bet. AC/DC is just lights out awesome.
It'll be my first time seeing them tomorrow.
You are going.
I'm very excited. I'm bringing a couple buddies that are absolutely in love with AC/DC, so that's exciting to be able to make them extra happy.
You can tell the age of a band by looking at their tour schedule. I mean, AC/DC has 3-4 days to recover between each show. Yep. Some other ones are doing 2 festivals a day or something ridiculous, the younger bands.
Friggin' Angus Young, just an immortal is what he is, a friggin' immortal. Chills. When I watch some old concert footage and whatnot on YouTube, or even just listening to their records, I still get chills that I'd had down my spine 40 friggin' years ago for AC/DC. So I'm excited for you, Ashley. All right, we better.
Yeah. I'm one to talk. Like I said, I've got 3 events this week, which is far, far too much for me. So I need to spread those out too. I understand AC/DC.
You got some things going on.
I totally understand.
Here we go, Wednesday. We'll get it going for real when we return here in a few minutes on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Idly ho, neighborinos.
93X.
Half-Assed Morning Show.
Well, there's my beautiful podcast, people. Everybody good? All right, great to hear. Thanks, as always, for listening to the podcast. And, of course, thanks to our friends at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning for making it all possible. Can we believe it's April already? And like the old saying goes, April showers brings gross, disgusting humidity and heat in May. Beat the heat and the summer rush. Have Standard Heating and Air Conditioning out to work on that AC soon. April is the best month to get your air conditioning wrenched on before the huge summer rush starts. So get on that today. Go to standardheating.com and schedule that AC tune-up. Thanks for listening. We love you podcasters. Enjoy the show.
Are you someone who tries to drive while distracted by your phone? Someone who props it on the steering wheel or peeks down at it for a glance? Or just scrolls and scrolls? If so, you could be the next person to get into a fender bender, get a ticket, veer off the road, or even cause a crash that kills you or someone else. Enough already. Put the phone away or pay. Paid for by NHTSA.
Bravo TV star Lala Kent holds nothing back on the Give Them Lala podcast.
It's very a lot.
You want the headline.
Here is my interview with Vicky Gunvalson. Who did the biggest number on you?
I'm not friends with Tamara anymore, which is fine.
Do you feel like you guys can repair?
No.
Stick to what you know.
Iconic.
Ooh. Absolutely fantastic. It is like the Super Bowl every episode.
Give Them Lala.
Unhinged, but also amazing TV.
Get ready.
Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
Stupid news on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Hang on a second. In our studios, it's so cold, I have to try to organize myself so I'm able to put my headphones on and then a hood over my headphones.
And you have a stocking cap on.
And a stocking cap on. That's how friggin' brutally cold it is in this awful, awful building.
Yeah, days like today in this room, I wish for another board fire just for the warmth.
Jesus.
Huddle around the smell of burning electronics.
And we talked about maybe bringing a space heater in, but I'm afraid to plug one of those things in around here. I think it might short circuit everything in the building.
Yeah, it'll take down the building.
Mm-hmm. Forgot about the space heater. We'd like to, how do I say this, Josh? We'd like to dedicate this here first story in our Stupid News Report. We'd like to dedicate this to all the masturbators out there. Where are the masturbators?
Present.
Put that hand down. I know what you do with that thing. Yuck.
Specifically, dudes. This one's for the dudes who enjoy shaking hands with the milkman now and again. Try and be careful with that damn thing. Like 38 Special said back in 1981, hold on loosely, but don't let go. If you cling too tightly, you're going to lose control.
That's a solid tune.
Great band, great live band. Don Barnes, lead singer. If you're one of those fellers who likes to cut loose with the old five-knuckle shuffle, be kind to that poor thing. Or you might come down with something here called death grip syndrome. Scary name. I know. The name makes it sound like, you jack yourself dead and your mother gets to find your carcass in her laundry room with your rod in hand. It's nothing like that. It's dramatic in name alone. It is explained here that death grip syndrome is simply a problem that can show itself if a dude uses an overly tight grip on his wad during disgusting, immoral masturbation.
No pain, no gain, bruh. Heard bad things about the death grip syndrome.
Oh, this is the first I've heard of it.
Like it can, some people suggest it can ruin your sex life.
That's where they go with this.
Yeah, that's what it is. Not everybody agrees, but there's definitely some people that think you're going to ruin that.
That's exactly where they go with this, Josh. Death grip syndrome, hanging on a little too tightly. It might lead to what they call here decreased sensitivity and difficulty achieving orgasm through other forms of sexual activity. So you more or less squeeze the life out of that poor thing, and then the next time your wife takes an interest in your broken old pecker, your dong doesn't care to perform for her because you've choked it stupid.
Back in the day, I used to believe, or maybe not believe, but be a little worried about going blind. You know, they always said, if you masturbate, you're going to go blind or hairy palms. It's kind of like my feeling on ghosts. I don't believe in ghosts, but I'm always a little worried that maybe they do exist, that type of thing.
I understand.
And you don't want to say you don't believe in them because that would be disrespectful. And if they actually do exist, they'd be pissed at you.
You don't want to upset them?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
The other day, I convinced my youngest that he was a bad person because we were at a church service, and he dipped his fingers in the holy water, and he got shocked. And I said, oh, no, are you telling me the truth? You really got shocked? And he did, and I'm like, oh, that's God telling you have to make some different choices. Like, you're going down the wrong path there, son. And then he did. I said, do it again. I want to make sure you're sure. He did it again. He got shocked again. I'm like, oh, no.
Oh, my
This is terrible. And it was the same thing I'm describing where he figured I was messing with him, but there was enough fear there that he had to ask other adults to see if there was anything to it.
That's beautiful.
My wife can't keep a straight face, so she ruined it. But I had him a little nervous there for a second.
Misleading children is one of my favorite things in the whole world. Unfortunately, we've just received a text message from a 22-year-old who says death grip syndrome has ruined my sex life. And that's the end of the text message.
Geez, that's terrible. Calm down a little. I don't know if you can fix that after it's already been done to you.
I bet you could.
It's funny you would say that, Ashley, because in this report, we'll find out whether or not it can be fixed.
Oh, wonderful.
A listener texted in. This is a question, Josh. I think maybe you'd be the only one bright enough to answer this. What's the difference between pink and purple?
How tight you squeeze, right?
The grip. That's right. All right, death grip syndrome. You're hanging on to that little acorn a little too tightly when you're whacking off. And it can, like I said, decrease sensitivity and make it difficult for you to achieve orgasms through other forms of sexual activity. To put it another way, a rod doctor by the name of Cunningham is quoted here in this story on Death Grips. Howard, I think, is the first name, Josh. Dr. Howard Cunningham.
Oh.
He's got a beautiful family.
Mr. C.
Wife, Marion, children, Richie and Denise. What the hell was her
Joni.
name? Joni. And Theo and Rudy and
Nope.
Cassandra.
Nope.
Denise.
I just saw Ron Howard make an appearance on a television show called The Studio on Apple TV Plus, and it was hilarious. I love when they do this. Ron Howard, often called one of the nicest people in Hollywood. I love when he plays a dick, where they make it seem like, no, in real life he's a complete a-hole, because he does it so well in different television shows.
Ron Howard.
He sired Bryce Dallas Howard. Oh, hubba hubba. She's my celebrity crush.
I hear you. Dr. Cunningham, again, a rod doctor, he went ahead and said the persistent use of a tight grip on your Johnson while pulling one loose, can condition the nerves and tissues to respond to only that specific form of stimulation. Do you see what he's trying to say?
Yeah, that would make a guy nervous. Unless you have a problem with, premature stuff. Maybe that's the cure you need.
Could be. He says that kind of a thing, squeezing it too tight, can make it challenging to experience pleasure and achieve orgasm through more typical forms of sexual activity. Let me see if this 22-year-old got back to us. Are you being serious? He said he's 22 years old and his sex life has already been ruined by death grip syndrome. I can't find the text anymore.
He hasn't said anything since then.
Symptoms of death grip syndrome are penile pain and something called anorgasmia, which is where a player experiences delayed, infrequent, or absent delayed orgasms? How delayed are we talking about? Is it 2 hours later and I'm at a family get-together? Am I in line at Jimmy John's when it hits me? Because that's not going to be pretty.
Especially with yours.
Oh, they go on forever. Mm-hmm. They're very loud. What about an absent orgasm? They don't explain that. So is that maybe for a dude, Josh? You feel the feelings, but you don't produce...
Like a dry orgasm?
Oh! The doctor says this here, too. He says, if you're... Ashley, this is for you. If you're experiencing any of these symptoms, keep your composure because it's generally treatable and often reversible. Death grip syndrome. Sometimes all you got to do, gross masturbating men, is use a, by God, gentler touch on yourself. Explore different types of stimulation, he says.
What about one of them fleshlights? Maybe that'd be a better way to go. Gamer Jesus said he had the issue. And he said that it's legit and be careful. And he also mentioned, this is another thing, we've talked about this before, how some sex experts will say, well, don't watch porn every time because then you're going to need that when you're in a real situation.
Right.
So he mentions that too.
The 22-year-old kid got back to us who said death grip syndrome has ruined his sex life. He says it makes sex very difficult. He mentions this. I don't remember this. He texted in asking Dr. P one day, why am I unable to ejaculate with my girlfriend during intercourse? So you texted in once before. It's made his sex life very difficult. What about sex with someone else's girlfriend?
How long does this take to develop, I guess?
No,
it's just years of going to town on yourself?
That's what Gamer Jesus said.
Wow.
Oh, it was years.
He said, yeah, it was for years.
Dude, try someone else's girlfriend and get back to us. Try a gentler touch, the doctor said. Explore different types of stimulation. Now, don't yank on it like it's going to push out cash. So be gentle. Instead of the old standing on your tippy toes up against the sink in your grandma's bathroom, pulling like hell while you're watching a Pornhub movie on mute.
Who's ever done that? Yuck. You can't ejaculate in grandma's sink.
There are people, there are guys who use grandma's sink.
Swamp Stompin' Jesus said they were up north. They heard a wolf howling, and his kid, Swamp Stomper Jr. Jesus, 14 years old, said that it sounded like the long orgasm guy when the wolf was howling. Now that's all I'm ever going to think of. Oh, that wolf is having a massive orgasm.
That must have been a very special bonding moment between father and son.
That kind of sounded like the long orgasm guy on the half-assed morning show.
Dad has a single tear dripping down his cheek.
Well, ain't that something? Death grip syndrome. It's out to get you.
It sounds absolutely terrible. Just be gentle.
For everybody, right? You want to wrap it up at some point, don't you, Ashley?
For everybody in the room. Everybody in the room is upset.
Get this over with.
I don't have all day.
HVAC/R and then I lost it. Here he is. Sorry, the text machine rolls like a damn slot machine sometimes, and you lose your HVAC/R and stuff Jesus. He says he prefers to treat his as if it owes him money.
I've heard that before. Beat it like it owes you money. Yeah, people don't approve of doing that in your grandmother's sink, especially if she doesn't live there anymore.
No, she's been gone for years. What does this say? Oh, I've never heard this. This is why it took me a while. We received the text message. This is why it took me a while. I've never heard this slang term for male masturbation. One listener calls it 5-on-1 couch hockey. That's brilliant.
Never heard that one either.
Never heard
That's
that
good.
one before. He says, I can only complete 5-on-1 couch hockey if I'm wearing nylon panties.
Learning a lot today.
Yeah, you had nothing for that one.
Wasn't it Quagmire that had the huge muscular arm from masturbation?
Because he discovered internet porn.
Yeah, well, he was pissed that nobody told him about internet porn.
Mm-hmm. He comes out, he's got a beard, and he's just in a state of confusion.
Dishwasher dude Jesus recommends the pocket P word. Best sex he ever had with himself.
He's talking about a sex toy?
Yeah.
Sure. The Pocket Bronco. It's been around for decades. Our dads used Pocket Broncos at their loneliest moments. You're all aware of that, right? That your dad had sex with a Pocket Bronco?
So many great visuals today.
No.
One of our male listeners, when he masturbates, likes to wear a mask and pretends it's a robbery.
Oh, sure. People are into some different things.
Oh, my gosh. Somebody said his girlfriend should start doing Kegels. It doesn't work like that.
So it's her fault.
Yeah, let's not blame the woman here.
Come on,
not
tighten
work
things up.
like that.
All right. This is ridiculous and frightening. Feel free, gentlemen, to continue texting in details about your masturbation habits. Some of this has been very funny. But our next story, we're on to our next story now. Really ridiculous and frightening. I wonder how many of our listeners like to get themselves ass naked for a professional massage now and again. And I'm not talking about the joints with the BJ and the HJ and the ZJ ending. I'm talking about the far less popular, legitimate massage joints. Josh and I have had bad experiences at the legitimate massage parlor.
And I can't rip it too much because I've only had one, so maybe it was an anomaly, but I didn't care for it whatsoever. I'm already uncomfortable being touched, but this lady I thought was very mad at me or had a bad day.
I was pissed. I really was. Pissed. This friggin' masseuse was so rough, and more than once I said, hey, can you cool it a little bit? And she did not change her approach at all. When I finally got on my feet, I considered punching her in the jaw. I was friggin' pissed.
So it was more of like a Greco-Roman wrestling match than it was a actual massage.
It was horrible. This was a gift from one of my ex-girlfriends. Go get a sports massage. Because at the time I played hockey, I played softball, I had kinks in my neck, my back, all kinds of... It was horrible. And more than once I said, hey, dial it back a little bit.
I almost wonder if it was the same lady. It was the same. My wife got me a gift certificate to her. She knew this woman somehow.
Oh, I've never had a professional one, but gosh, that would be nice.
When I came out the door, the ex-girlfriend who bought me this massage was sitting in a chair outside, and she said, how did it go? And I said, get in the car!
Yeah, you might need to try a regular one, not a sports one.
I've tried all of them.
Really?
I've tried the regular ones, the sports ones, the ones that end with a ZJ, HJ,
Oh, wow.
Z, and BJ.
Mr. Bougie over here
tried
getting
them all.
massages.
All. Josh and I have had bad experiences. Not as bad as this here kid from out there in, how do you say that again, Josh? China. He sat down for what they call here a vigorous neck massage, and the poor bastard upped and had a stroke.
You don't have much muscle in this area, but then you have vessels such as the vein and the carotid artery. It could cause dissection, meaning the artery walls could dissect or rupture, and that could lead to a stroke.
I guess maybe I don't want a massage.
That stuff scares the heck out of me. Somebody told me I used to crack my neck a lot.
Oh, yeah, me too.
And we had an old boss here. He's like, dude, you can have a stroke from doing that. And I thought he was messing with me. And I looked it up, and he wasn't kidding. And I went to a chiropractor a couple times, and he said the same thing. He's like, show me how you do it. And I did it. So you're going to rip your head off.
Honestly, worth the risk. But a chiropractor, they have saved my life before.
No, he told me not to do it. So I was telling him, like, well, is there any way you can crack it? And then he got mad at me saying, well, I can't crack it, but I can adjust it. They don't like when you say crack it.
Okay.
He got furious.
Well, what's that sound that gets made then? Is that not a cracking?
I didn't know that's what it was called, and now I know.
They're very touchy over there at the chiropractor's office. My dad used to call him the Crush. I got to go see the Crush.
I don't mean any offense because these weren't my words, but we had a very, very funny personal finance teacher in college, and he had all these opinions on all these different types of things. The girls hated him, but the guys loved him. You know, he wasn't like a sexist guy or anything. It's just his sense of humor. And he used to always say of chiropractors, and again, his words, not mine, voodoo medicine. And he would say it just like that.
I love that because I know a lot of older guys who have the exact same opinion.
Yeah, it's usually older people, right?
Yeah.
They feel, voodoo medicine. And he also said if you're ever at Target and you're a guy and you see a kid alone in an aisle, find somebody in a red shirt. Don't be alone in that aisle with them. You know, his goal was to keep you from spending money on things he didn't think were legit or getting sued or in some serious legal trouble for something you didn't do.
I know a couple of older guys who they what's the term? They'll die on this hill or whatever?
Yeah.
They break something on you, so you have to come back. Friggin' chiropractors, they hate them.
That is one thing I've heard from other people. I know a couple times I went, dude wanted me to come back like twice a week for forever.
You probably needed to. The one time I went to a chiropractor, they told me I only needed to go for a couple of months, and then I was done after those months. So
I've heard people say, that just they go all the time. They've been told to go all the time. But your situation was different, obviously.
Yeah, I had really bad earaches when I was younger, and my family doctor mentioned to my mom the next step was getting tubes in my ears. And he said, hey, you know what, why don't you try a chiropractor? And this was very unlike him to suggest this type of thing. And so I went, they cracked my neck a couple times, did my back, and I have never had an earache since I was about 8 years old.
Well, there's plenty of people that swear by him for sure.
Okay. I used to be a big neck cracker too, Josh. And I think you were the one who dumped this information on me years ago. We have been best friends for 30 years now. You were the one who told me.
I remember the day you learned that, Nick.
Oh, it was that recent?
Oh, I thought it was longer.
I guess probably like that could be 6.5 years ago.
Well, I thought it was more like 25 years. Anyway, you were the one who told me, stop doing that because it can F you up. And I used to be able to roll my neck around, and it sounded like the drum intro to Hot for Teacher. I mean, it just...
It's scary. It's cool and scary at the same time.
So anyway...
Did you have traction when you were there?
No, traction?
Yeah, so they hooked up like, your head to something, and it stretches... Like this machine would slowly stretch.
Oh, I've never been to a chiropractor.
Oh, I've seen those.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I've been to many massage.
Okay.
So they do what? They hold your head in place and throw you around.
You're laying down. At least the place I went to, you're laying down and, kind of pulls your head.
Kick you in the ass?
Nothing like that.
Oh, that sounds so scary. I don't know why. It's just, that gives me the heebie-jeebies, the thought of like my head being pulled.
Here is a listener who had a stroke from cracking his neck 3 years ago. And that's where we're going with this year's story. Sorry about that, bruh.
Yeah, dude.
Chinese kid. Again, how far did I get with this? Because we went We went for a while there on our own skis, which was fun, don't get me wrong. Kid had a bad neck. Did I tell you this much? Here it is. Zhang is the name of the kid. He had some neck problems from working too many damn hours at his desk job. He heard that a good old neck rub could help a pimp out, so he ducked into his neighborhood massage parlor. He said everything was going just beautiful until the masseuse really started giving her hell, and he felt a sharp pain in his neck. A couple minutes later, he had a gong show headache. After it was all over, Zhang went home, not thinking much of it. The next morning, he woke up with numbness and weakness on the left side of his body. He was slurring his words like he was hammered. Off he went to the hospital, and what he found out over there was not good. He had a strokey stroke. It was a good call, they say, to come running into the hospital right quick. Doctors were able to start working on Zhang right away. And as we speak, Zhang Bang is on his way to a full recovery. But by damn, too much force being dumped on Zhang during that neck massage was what sent him sideways with that strokey stroke.
Yeah, I know a woman who was lifting weights, this very young person, like in her early 20s, and she had a stroke. Healthy, worked out all the time. It just exerted herself too much.
Apparently, there was a story going round and round last year where a young person from over there in Thailand got killed dead by a neck-twisting massage with too much force behind it.
Oh.
There was a little too much twisty in that neck-twisting massage, and they woke up dead.
This will be the nice relaxation massage that I need. Dead.
Next thing you know, you're walking into the light. What happened? I sat down for a... What is this? Listeners have all kinds of stories here, and we love them for it. I mean, I knew that former twin Al Newman had a stroke, or at least I heard that he had a stroke, but a listener says he gave himself that stroke by cracking his neck when he was coaching the Twins years ago.
Oh, I never heard that part.
Is that a factor? Yeah.
Overwhelmingly positive things said by the brother and sisterhood about their experience with chiropractors.
That's what Big Cairo wants you to think.
Well, there's a couple of 83-year-olds at my neighborhood bar who would throw down with you.
Oh, yeah, it's always the older guys.
Yeah,
sure.
Son of a bitch bastard, because I don't know what's going on in there. I'm not a doctor, is what they say.
For a while, I was calling everything voodoo medicine, whatever it was. Somebody would be like, vegetables are good for you. Voodoo medicine.
Oh, I like that bit.
Oh, gosh, I miss that guy. He was great.
I like to call a lot of it hippie nonsense or hippie dippy nonsense. All right, you've heard Josh and I mention it many times. We love the vibe in Japan. The people seem very nice. The women are foxy. They still worship the hard rock bands from the 80s that Josh and I grew up loving. Hell, I believe Winger is touring Japan as we speak. Headed for a heartbreak off the first Winger record, I don't know if you knew this, Josh, is being considered for Japan's national anthem.
That's a good call.
Yeah.
There's so many on that album they could do.
Yeah. But at the same time, they are a little strange over there. This is something maybe you have to see for yourself to fully understand it. So hopefully Smashly has posted some of this on our website, 93x.com. Worthy says here, middle-aged man trading cards have become very popular in Japan.
I love this bit.
Is this posted on our website?
Yes, it is.
You know how a lot of folks will fight each other to death on the street over Pokemon cards? They're similar to those types of cards. There's a town in Japan called Fukuoka, and I'd love to go the other way with that, but, rules. There's a town in Japan called Fukuoka where everyone is obsessed with collecting cards with middle-aged, pot-bellied, bald-headed men on them. Real neighborhood guys.
That's awesome.
Not just characters they came up with. Real fellers from the neighborhood, if I didn't make that clear already. So, As of last month, there were 47 different cards in the collection, including 28 cards featuring these local older fellers, including the stats and special abilities.
Walked uphill to school both ways.
Right.
Hasn't had a solid BM for a decade.
Including the stats and special abilities of each of these older citizens. For example, let me tell you about one of the cards. One of the cards stars a 74-year-old guy called Mr. Honda. His card says he's a former fire chief who helped the town stay safe for decades. Another would be Mr. Takeshita, who is 81. He runs a local noodle cooking class. But the most popular of them all right now is probably a guy by the name of Mr. Fuji. He's 68 years old. He's a former prison guard turned community volunteer. His card is so sought after that local kids have even started asking him for an autograph.
That's adorable.
Mr. Fuji himself is, that's not how I should have approached it. Mr. Fuji himself is quoted here in the article, and he said, "I never imagined I'd become a trading card, let alone have fans."
You can make your own trading card with whoever you want on there.
What do I need to do that? What do they call that these days? A 3D printer or something?
I've seen it on Etsy before. So Etsy is like a website that you can use that has a lot of small businesses that sell their different goods on there. So you can submit your photo to them and then whatever you want the trading card to say.
What would some of your stats be, Josh, if we made a Cubby trading card? I mean, obviously...
refuses to leave his zip code unless absolutely necessary.
Well, but first we have to cover you graduated from, what do you call it, Holy Angels High School, first ballot Minnesota Broadcasting Hall of Famer.
No.
And then we get into things like wetted the bed till he was 21. What did you just say?
We don't have to throw that one in there.
What would your attack be? Because you need some type of, I guess, power move, right?
Cubby's attack? Editing. He's a great editor. Mention that on the back of his card. Terrific article editor.
Audio editor?
Audio editor is how a guy would say.
Pool plaster finisher Jesus said there's divorced dad cards here in the state.
Oh, I bet those are hilarious.
I got to look those up.
Divorced dad cards.
Divorced dads it's their moment, right? Everybody's talking about how like Nickelback or Creed, divorced dad rock, and things are being described as divorced dad.
Oh, I have not heard that yet. So are you saying that a divorced dad gets himself his own trading card and then hands it out to ladies at the neighborhood bar?
Let me see. I don't know if that's going on, but let's see what they have here.
Oh, yeah. It's divorced dad summer.
That's something else somebody said?
That's so cute.
Well, that's kind of cool. I wish this...
Oh, yeah. This is great.
I got to see these.
I wish this vibe would have been something years ago, but then again, I've never been a dad. Okay, someone behind this gimmick, old-timer trading cards in Japan. Someone behind the gimmick said this to the local television news. They said, "We wanted to strengthen the connection between the children and the older generations in our community. There are so many amazing guys here, older guys. I thought it was a shame that no one knew about them. Since the card game went viral, so many kids are starting to look up to these men as heroic figures." What a great idea. Maybe if we did something like this around here, maybe our young kids might actually have respect for their elders. That idea has come and gone, in case you haven't noticed.
Hey, I like how wholesome this is.
These divorced dad cards are great. One of them is a Tower of Sad, and it's a bunch of beers stacked in a pyramid.
I guess
drywall hole.
I'd have to see them to understand them. So there's a picture of the divorced dad?
No, it just looks like it's a picture of, I guess, what describes them. Here, I'll show you.
All right. Well, maybe we got to save this for... Hang on a sec. So I have no idea what I'm looking at. I'm looking at a Christmas tree?
No, that is the Tower of Beer.
Okay.
That's the Tower of Sad.
I don't get it.
There's one that has a perfect lawn.
Yeah.
I'll have to look into this because I'm not understanding this.
That's clever.
Kids have started attending local events and volunteering for community activities just for a chance to meet some of the older cats in this Japanese town.
It's got to be so cool for those old guys. I bet they get a kick out of it.
And the kids are like, hey, that's Mr. Lee right there. He used to, what did he used to do for a living? He used to be a fluffer. You know what I mean? Many kids are saving their money for a chance to score their favorite card with a worn-out older guy on the cover. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Oh. Yeah, I'd like to put together your stats, Josh. We got to mention some of the cool stuff.
Actually, I mentioned an attack.
I was about ready to list some of Josh's cool things.
Oh, my bad.
Don't you want to hear some of the cool things he's accomplished?
Don't worry, the list won't be long, Dana. You'll get in there.
Tried to dial up a three-way, but his buddy cried and ruined everything.
Close. Had dialed up a three-way.
You did have a three-way.
The buddy cried and said, if you don't get me involved in a three-way, I'm going to get you fired.
Oh.
Yeah. And he was a superior, somebody who could have had that influence.
You had a three-way. You were done with your three-way. Your coworker walks up and says, look, I want in on a three-way, and you better hook it up for me. He's crying while
he was crying.
If you don't hook me up, I will get you fired.
Yes.
These are things that have to go on the back of Josh's trading card. I'm sorry, Dana. Go right ahead.
Just going to say, Ashley mentioned you got to have an attack move on your card. So a lot of people have pointed out that, Josh, you could just list that you're a boner machine.
I am not a boner machine.
You used to be a boner machine.
I've never been a boner machine.
Sports on the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
First one to Koski is roped out to right field. That will send Pico back to the track, and it is gone. Caleb Koski, a grand slam to put the Hoosiers on top by 5 here in the first.
Brad Ryder on the call there. Corey Koski, one of Corey Koski's sons, has begun a college baseball career playing for, who is it again?
Indiana,
and his very first college hit was a grand slam.
That's awesome.
It sounds like at least one son of a pro athlete has actually earned his way onto a team. That's adorable, isn't it, Josh?
It is adorable. I bet Dad was really proud.
I bet he was pumped. We picked a bad time for a sports report, though, because there's no way that at this early I'm prepared to talk about the Timberwolves. I'm just not.
You're still upset?
Oh, beyond. This is the most upset I've ever been as a Wolves fan, and as you know, they've done some things over the years that would upset anybody. This is the most pissed off I've ever been.
It's embarrassing.
I can't talk about it yet. I can barely talk about the Twins. They just suck right now.
Rocco!
I can tell you the Pigs play at home tonight. When Randy Shaver and whoever the other guy is, I just said his name, Brad Ryder, when they show up in a half hour, I'll be able to discuss these subjects. Right now, I can't. I'll tell you, the Pigs play at home tonight against the San Jose Sharks, and at 8 o'clock in the morning, we'll dive into another one of our Pigs updates and talk to Marky Foligno. Okay, they play the Sharks tonight at home.
That should cheer you up.
What, Mark?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a friendly guy. He puts everyone in a good mood because he's just a good guy. What's your dork buddy Bert Kreischer doing at the Raw show the other night, Ashley?
I had no idea he was going to be there. I got an email a couple weeks ago about possibly interviewing him this past Monday, and then they reached out to me and said he was no longer available.
Oh, he's a big shot? He's not available because he's a big shot?
Well, he is a big shot.
Now it makes sense because he was probably practicing for this. I mean, who wouldn't want to do something like this, right?
I missed it. A Monday Night Raw was in town. I missed the show, but Bert Kreischer, the comic, have you heard of him, Josh?
Yes, of course.
He dumped a couple of choke slams on fools, and people said he did all right.
I apologize. I didn't come to see you guys. You know, the shirt off is like my thing, right? Babe, it's our thing now.
Minneapolis, we're coming, man!
He and Otis did a little promo together. Yeah, he didn't look bad in the ring at all.
A couple of choke slams.
Yeah.
He's coming to town in September. I can't remember exactly what dates, but I'm definitely going to go see him. He's so great.
We got some time between now and September. Good for him for showing up on Raw, getting into a ring. I mean, that's a lot of our...
A lot of butt crack.
Yeah.
Butt crack.
That belly hangs over that belt pretty good.
Sure does.
His ass jumped out of the back?
You know how... Because he's got that belly pushing his pants down, so his pants can't stand up or stay up. And, yeah, His butt crack was way out there in front of the crowd at Target Center.
We've lived that dream before. We've been in a WWE ring.
We have. It hurts a lot more than I would have thought.
Remember the one time when I threw myself over the top rope very dramatically like a member of the Hardy Boys kind of a thing?
It's impressive.
It was, but it was uncomfortable. The landing was uncomfortable. Don't go anywhere. Josh's news report is coming up next.
93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Nice.
93X.
Well, there's my beautiful podcast, people. Everybody good? All right, great to hear. Thanks, as always, for listening to the podcast. And, of course, thanks to our friends at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning for making it all possible. Can we believe it's April already? And like the old saying goes, April showers brings gross, disgusting humidity and heat in May. Beat the heat and the summer rush. Have Standard Heating and Air Conditioning out to work on that AC soon. April is the best month to get your air conditioning wrenched on before the huge summer rush starts. So get on that today. Go to standardheating.com and schedule that AC tune-up. Thanks for listening. We love you podcasters. Enjoy the show.
Are you someone who tries to drive while distracted by your phone? Someone who props it on the steering wheel or peeks down at it for a glance? Or just scrolls and scrolls? If so, you could be the next person to get into a fender bender, get a ticket, veer off the road, or even cause a crash that kills you or someone else. Enough already. Put the phone away or pay. Paid for by NHTSA.
Bravo TV star Lala Kent holds nothing back.
There's been so many times where I'm like, I apologize that I said that, but that wasn't meant for you to hear.
Feel you there.
How fun would it be to bring in some Bravo celebrities and make our own bracket?
Iconic.
All right, I'll take Dorinda, you take Sonia.
Sonia is who I wish I could be.
You and me both. I cannot be someone in the program. What's PTO?
Pay time off. See?
Oh.
You've never had a real job.
Give them Lala.
It is nothing but honesty.
You guys know.
Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
You gotta be kidding me. Who greenlit this garbage?
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
If it didn't happen to me, I wouldn't believe it had happened to someone else. That's how unbelievable it really is.
When 35-year-old Dylan Johnson's wife called him in a panic, saying someone was banging on the doors and windows of their Georgia home, he rushed into action. His wife was alone with her 5-month-old baby. He was at work, and time was critical. She called around 9:30, saying someone was snooping around the house, Johnson said. I was panicking. My wife was terrified, and I had no idea what I was about to walk into. He tried calling the county's non-emergency line. No luck. So he called 911 3 times. Finally, someone picked up, but instead of immediate help, he got something else entirely. A dispatcher who seemed more focused on breakfast than the break-in unfolding on the other side of the line. She was talking to people in the background, Johnson said. It sounded like she was ordering McDonald's.
McGriddle. I'm sorry, what?
An investigation into Chatham County 911, their call center, revealed that it wasn't a one-off. Thousands of calls were dropped or mishandled each month due to unresponsive or distracted staff. The county chairman didn't mince any words.
That should never happen, okay? Your ordering breakfast should be different from your answering a call, and the two should never intertwine.
So he's worried about someone breaking in, getting his wife and baby, and she's ordering a McGriddle. In this case, police did eventually respond to Johnson's home, but the suspect was already gone. The McGriddle call, as they're now calling it, is under internal review.
I mean, to be fair, have you had a McGriddle lately? They're so good.
Never had one.
Oh, they're so good.
That's
so true.
That's really effing ridiculous. What's going on over there?
Yeah.
Well, it's 911 for Christ's sake.
Let's
call them right now. Want to call them right now and see what they're doing?
Hello, 911.
What the?
Can you imagine? Hey, chill out, dude. Breakfast only goes till 10:30. This is my only opportunity. This is a real emergency.
What in the living hell?
A 49-year-old Florida man did his part to keep the infamous Florida man legend alive after causing quite the scene outside an Applebee's in Clearwater Friday night. Diners who thought they were just out eating good in the neighborhood got a bad taste of just what kind of neighborhood it was when a flummoxed Floridian began stumbling through the restaurant's parking lot, extremely disoriented, and tried to get into a car that wasn't his. When deputies arrived, things got weirder. He couldn't tell him where he was, where he came from, or even what state he was in. but his outfit revealed a lot. Witnesses and deputies alike were treated to the sight of the man wearing a pink wig, fake breasts, and a pink thong. An ensemble that earned him plenty of double takes and a quick trip to county jail. He was arrested for disorderly intoxication. Turns out he lived about 2 blocks away from the Applebee's.
That'd be kind of fun to see if you're sitting at Applebee's looking out the window.
Yeah, I don't like eating on the patio, but I guess there'd be a nice little dinner and a show there.
Yeah, anything to mix up, mix things up. Add a little excitement. And he was dressed like a lady?
Yeah, I mean, pink wig.
Sure.
He's got the fake boobs.
Provocatively.
Very provocative. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Very revealing. I wish there was more info to this next story, but the details are as sparse as Dana's vegetable crisper. Over the weekend in North Vancouver, a police officer found himself on a rescue mission like something out of a sitcom, or, depending on your viewing habits, a very specific kind of pornography. While on patrol, he was flagged down outside a local restaurant where a patron had somehow managed to fall and get stuck under a table. With no clear way to free the person, the officer borrowed a screwdriver from restaurant staff and went to work, dismantling the table piece by piece until the trapped diner was freed. Other than some damaged pride, the person was uninjured.
How does a grown person?
I don't know. I'm having trouble picturing that myself.
There's no photos or anything?
No, it was just on a police blotter.
I'm trying to figure out in my head how a grown person gets trapped under a table.
And I guess I'm assuming the staff tried to get the person out. They don't say, was this an adult, a kid? What was going on?
Oh, they did not mention...
No.
Okay. Well, F me.
Interesting.
Yeah, I can't picture it at all.
No.
Maybe they were scraping gum off of the bottom. I don't know. I'm trying to think.
Well, yeah, but how do you get trapped?
Like, they didn't say the table fell on the person. They
just
were trapped underneath it.
That's so weird. How big is this table?
A 59-year-old California woman missing for several days was rescued Monday afternoon from the bottom of a manhole. Her disappearance was first reported last Thursday, prompting the police department's missing persons unit to launch an investigation. But it wasn't until early Monday afternoon, about 12:40 p.m., a breakthrough came. Detectives patrolling the area heard a woman's voice echoing up from below the ground.
Hello?
Coming from a manhole, so they called in fire crews and paramedics for help. Within the hour, a specialized team, including a truck from the city's urban search and rescue unit, was on the site. Around a dozen emergency personnel worked together to carefully pull the woman from the underground drain. She was lifted to safety about 2:30 p.m. and being trapped nearly 10 feet below the surface for what officials believe several days.
It is very possible, from what I'm hearing, that she's been there for days, and it is very unusual. It is obviously not a place where it's designed for human inhabitants.
Police declined to share further details, saying only out of respect for the woman and her family, no additional information will be released at this time.
So what she was doing in there, what drove her in there, how she came to be in there, we are unclear. And again, I will let our partners from the police department address that if they know anything. But it is very unusual to have somebody in there.
This guy's had some coffee.
Yeah, he's pumped. And
days. She was in there for days.
They believe days,
But they got her out.
They did.
And then they got a phone call about a guy trapped under a table.
This story, while strange, it's not entirely without precedent. She's just one of many open-minded women who, in a moment of curiosity, explored a manhole. As apparently there's an oddly specific trend of women ending up in storm drains. In 2021, a woman in Florida made headlines after she was rescued from a storm drain 3 weeks after she'd gone missing. She told officials she'd been exploring underground tunnels when she got lost.
Exploring underground?
Oh, I remember this lady.
Yes, she made headlines because she did the exact same thing again in a different state, this time in Texas.
What are you, are you a 10-year-old or something? What?
It sounded like she had some stuff going on.
She's looking for the Ninja Turtles.
There were things going on. I
Sounds
understand.
like, yeah, and that's the impression of the California woman as well. There's
okay.
some stuff going on.
When we were little kids, I remember getting a kick out of exploring old buildings and old houses. I mean, my elementary school had these bizarre tunnels underneath the damn thing, and we could not wait to break into that. But when you're a grown person, what the hell's the matter with you?
Then in 2020, a South Carolina woman was pulled from a drain after neighbors heard her cries for help.
Ladies are just very curious down there.
Apparently so. A new bill shimmying its way through the Minnesota legislature could make jaywalking totally legal in most situations.
Well, thank God I've been harassed my whole life for all the jaywalking that I do.
Well, you've got quite the record for it.
Right.
It's ruined your employment possibilities. The lawmakers behind the bill are basically saying, let's stop pretending we don't all do this. One of the bill's authors even admitted we all jaywalk, so why are we treating it like a crime? But the proposal isn't just about legalizing rebellious strut across the street. It's also a serious issue for Minnesotans with disabilities. Navigating a sidewalk in the middle of a snowpocalypse with wheelchair users often means the need to roll into the roadway. As one advocate put it, I'm committing a crime just trying to get through the day in a wheelchair. Still, not everyone's on board. The Minnesota Police Chiefs Association doesn't like the idea of people freely froggering into traffic, warning that without the ability to issue citations, more people might take risks and cross dangerously.
We think it will increase the number of people crossing in dangerous situations in uncontrolled portions of the roadway instead of at the light where there's a crosswalk.
Bill supporters, however, are quick to point out places like California, Nevada, and Virginia, states that already have decriminalized jaywalking without triggering an epidemic of pedestrian roadkill.
They have not seen any major, spikes in safety incidences when it comes to jaywalking.
In Minnesota, if the bill gets the green light, crossing the street wherever your heart desires may no longer be a crime come August 1st.
Well, Josh, if the police can also be a little more lax on truancy, then we can all finally get some peace and quiet around here. You know what I mean?
Authorities in Maryland are looking for a man accused of shooting at Dick's. Montgomery County Police are actively searching for a man who opened fire at a Dick's sporting goods store Monday night. The incident happened about 9:36 p.m. when the suspect reportedly fired several rounds into the store before taking off on foot. Thankfully, no one was hurt. At this point, investigators haven't said whether the gunman was targeting anyone in particular, but authorities emphasize there's no ongoing threat to the public.
Man, just trying to buy a tent over here. You know?
You guys know how sometimes I just do it to myself. I say things, and then I say things that people take in a very dirty way.
Well, we can't help it, but sure, we're aware of that.
Sometimes it's very, very egregious,
Yeah, we're aware. Where are you going with this?
When I was younger, I was with my ex-boyfriend and his family, and we went to a Dick's Sporting Goods. And as soon as we step out of the car, I proclaim, man, I love Dick's.
Mm-hmm.
God.
That's excellent.
I didn't live that down for a couple of years.
We all do. I mean, the store. Well, all of it. A 39-year-old Duluth landlord has been sentenced after setting his own duplex on fire while blaring the Billy Joel song, We Didn't Start the Fire. Even though he did start the fire. You may remember this story. It's from a couple years back in May. Flames erupted in the upstairs unit of a duplex about 3 a.m., and when firefighters showed up, they were met with more than just smoke. Billy Joel's iconic anthem was echoing through the building.
We should probably start a fire. Hey, do you think there's directions about starting fires in the song We Didn't Start the Fire?
I don't think so.
I better go through it all. Famous guy, movie star, don't know who these people are. Stuffing history, yelling really loud at me. Okay, how's your fire coming?
According to the downstairs tenant, he woke up to the sound of glass shattering and things being smashed upstairs. The racket went on for about 20 minutes before the landlord knocked on the door and announced the house is on fire. Outside, a neighbor watched in disbelief as the landlord, wearing a helmet, smashed his own windows. Moments later, they saw what looked like a fireball erupt from the upstairs apartment. Investigators pieced together the bizarre scene. The landlord's truck had a hole drilled in its gas tank, the drill still nearby. Gas can lids were scattered around. Wires had been yanked from the electrical panel in the basement. And inside the upstairs unit, a suspicious green splooge scorched the furniture, walls, and floors, later determined to be signs of a chemical accelerant.
Okay.
Authorities found the landlord the next day nursing fresh burn injuries on his arms and legs.
How'd this happen?
They sure had a lot of evidence. The Billy Joel fan won't be behind bars for the longest time. Though he was sentenced to 4 years, the sentence was stayed in favor of 3 years of supervised probation, so he'll likely be moving out of jail sometime next year.
So he lost his friggin' mind. Probably would have been more fitting, Josh, wouldn't it have been, if he would have played Burning Down the House by Talking Heads?
Yeah, it would have been a good one, too.
We Didn't Start the Fire. Billy Joel, one of the most miserable, unlistenable, obnoxious, annoying songs ever created.
I used to enjoy it.
Oh, you probably haven't heard the updated version by Fall Out Boy then.
Oh, no.
Yes, I have heard it.
What did you think?
Didn't think too much of it, I guess, one way or the other.
Dana, you are you're telling the truth. I don't spend a lot of time going through Fall Out Boy covers.
We were watching one of their videos the other day.
When I have free time, yes, we watch one of their songs.
We sure did. Dennis Quaid, 71 today. We want to thank Polish Crooked-Nosed Jesus, listening all the way in Rome this morning. Good luck to redheaded Roseville Jesus getting married this weekend. He said to wish him luck before his, quote, life is over when I tie the knot.
Yeah, that's pretty much.
That's a good start.
Thank you.
That's how a lot of folks look at it.
Yeah, some people do, right? Thank you to our little buddy C. Bella tuning in the car with Dad this morning. We appreciate that. Thanks to Not Munging Jesus for the great mugs he dropped off for us this morning. Thank you so much.
Yes, these are sweet.
They're awesome.
They really are.
I didn't get a great mug.
What, you don't like your mug?
No.
I love mine.
I got a mug.
80s rock tapes.
Did I receive a mug? Oh. Yes. Would I call it great? No.
You don't like it?
No.
Well, the rest of us like ours. Thank you very much. But for Nick, you really disappointed a lot of us. You should have stepped it up. Happy 13th to Elliot from Dad, Amish electrician Jesus, who's looking forward to taking you to AC/DC tomorrow night.
It's just a mug.
I didn't see yours. What is the theme of yours?
Oh, murder.
Oh, that's more like Ashley's style. Then.
I got a murder one as well.
I have no idea. I haven't looked at it yet.
Oh, you haven't?
Oh, I know. Mine is actually murder-themed.
The theme is... yes, hard rock cassette tapes.
Oh, we got the same one. Nice.
I wonder how many. See, now I really do like the looks of this mug. What's the guy's name?
Not Munging Jesus. I mean, you got Faster Pussycat, Quiet Riot.
Later on this morning, we are going to go through every one of these 80s cassette tapes, and Josh and I will notify you whether or not we possess them.
White Lion? I have most of these tapes.
Most of these.
Yeah. Or I did at one time. I gave them to you.
Really, really cool. I'm sorry I blew up.
Yes, thank you so much. Happy sweet 16th to Rebecca, and that's 93X News.
Time now for your weekly video game update.
On the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
93X.
Well, Nintendo dorks, we got served up some good mushrooms and some poison mushrooms with last week's Nintendo Direct. Dana here is your video game update. Let's start with the good news. The Switch 2 looks even better than anybody in the Mushroom Kingdom could have anticipated. Bigger screen, updated specs, new Joy-Cons, an amazing new online player mode that looks really sweet, and a bunch of incredible titles, with Mario Kart World leading the charge, of course. The bad news? Well, this is where I ask you sincerely from the bottom of my heart to consider subscribing to my new OnlyFans page so I can afford it all. Yeah, unfortunately, the price seems to be the biggest takeaway and something people are still talking about a week later. The bare bones system will set you back $450, and a bundle of Mario Kart World will be $500. That's a big difference from the $299 we all paid for the original Switch 8 years ago. And it's not just the system price that threw a banana peel in the way of everyone's fun. Prices have gone up for both physical and digital copies of games, and of course controllers and accessories got a bump as well. It's understandable the next-gen system will cost more than its predecessor, but given everything happening right now, maybe Nintendo could have read the room a little bit better. But they know diehard dorks like myself will shell out whatever they ask. I mean, hell, I spent a good chunk of my honeymoon texting with the one and only gamer Jesus about all the details of the Switch 2 unveil. But unfortunately, I think this will price out a lot of casual gamers and families, which stinks, because video games should be for everyone. The Switch 2 comes out June 5th, so you got time to save your pennies. And I'm dead serious about subscribing to my OnlyFans. Please consider it. You can find me at onlyfans.com/HarryRadioDouche.
93X. Randy Shaver.
He's existing in this, shadow world of depravity.
On the Half-Assed Morning Show.
3 straight games. The Bucks turn over the Wolves. Over to Kevin Porter Jr. And the Bucks have the lead for the first time since the first quarter.
45 left. Look at the defense.
Kevin Porter Jr. again. Once again. Thievery at its best.
Somebody else has to talk.
Oh, no.
You're still not ready?
He's very upset today.
What a terrible, terrible place to start our conversation with Randy Shaver and Brad Ryder.
Oh, we're the problem.
No.
Yeah.
How in the hell did you interpret that? No. I feel bad.
You said that's the place to start the conversation, and then you said Brad's name first.
I feel bad that Randy...
I feel bad for Brad.
I feel bad that both of you even have to have this conversation about last night's Timberwolves game.
Are you surprised?
Well, no, nothing surprises me anymore. I've been watching sports my whole friggin' life. Please don't pull that "are you surprised" bit on me. Josh and I used to work with a guy who always claimed we were surprised. Oh, and it angered me.
No, I'm not saying I'm surprised.
Right. Sorry, Randy.
Yeah.
Randy, of course
it's
I'm not.
Randy's fault. He doesn't know.
Did the sun come up this morning?
I don't know. We're in the.
We have no windows.
That's a bad question for you.
Yeah,
guys,
you tell us.
but yes, it did. It's fine.
The fourth quarter of last night's Timberwolves game in Milwaukee was one of the most disheartening, disappointing, disgusting choke jobs I've ever witnessed. I'm sick about it, and it's not going away anytime soon.
Well, it better go away because they've got a couple more big games.
Well, I'm talking about for me personally.
Okay.
This sick feeling in my stomach is not going away anytime. How am I supposed to have any faith in this club going forward?
I think that's very difficult to do. But here's the thing, Nick. We've seen this, maybe not to that extent, what we saw last night, but we've seen this play out over the course of the season. This team, for whatever reason, just cannot seem to get consistency for a stretch of time. Yeah, they'll win 4 or 5 games maybe in a row. But they're a better basketball team than generally most teams they play. And for whatever reason, things like last night will happen that make you question whether this team has a shot at even getting out of the first round of the playoffs. And that should never be a question with the talent that this team has.
They won't get out of the play-in round.
Well, I don't know about that. I will say.
I was going to say they need to avoid losing that first play-in game, and then either having to play Sacramento or Dallas, and they probably will win. But then guess who they get in the first round?
Right? Aren't they right now where they're at now? Wouldn't they play Golden State in the play-in thing?
No, they would play. They would go to Memphis and play at Memphis. That's why tomorrow night's game is huge tomorrow night. Because go ahead.
I was just going to say, if they win that game in the play-in game, let's say that the scenario Brad laid out is correct. If they win that game, they're automatically the 7 seed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so all they got to do is win once.
And then they play Houston. This is important. They win that first game, they're in the 7 seed. They play Houston. They lose that first play-in game and go down and probably beat Sacramento or Dallas. Okay, great, they're in as the 8 seed, but they get Oklahoma City. Who would you rather play in the first round?
I'd rather play the Rockets.
It doesn't matter. They're not getting out of the play-in round.
They're still only 1 game out of the 6th spot. They're only 1 game out of the 4 spot.
They had a 24-point lead in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I get it, but they've got to have a short memory because they play Memphis tomorrow night, and that's a huge game because if they win that game, then they at least get the play-in game. Then at least they have the tiebreaker over Memphis, and they can get that play-in game at home as opposed to going to Memphis. They've still got a lot to play for.
Listen, let's talk about these playoff scenarios in a minute.
Okay.
Right now, I feel like if we don't mention how brutal they were last night.
It was brutal.
We're letting them off the hook. I don't want to let them off the hook. They had a 24-point lead in the fourth quarter, and they pissed it down their leg and lost.
They went 8.5 minutes without scoring a field goal last night in the fourth quarter. They were up by 20 to start the quarter, up by 24 in the quarter. It's the first time that the Bucks in the last 276 tries of being being down by 20 points or more in the fourth quarter came back to win a game. They had lost 276 consecutive games when down, and rightly so. You should lose. If you're down by 20 points in the fourth quarter, you should lose in this league. But what happened last night was just incredibly disheartening for Timberwolves fans.
And they played a pretty solid ball game.
They did.
Until it mattered.
The third quarter, they were on fire.
Yeah.
Memphis is not Washington. I'm sorry, Milwaukee is not Washington. Milwaukee's a good team. They're going to be in that 5 spot in the East. They're a good team too.
I haven't been this upset about a ball game in years. I'm just straight up pissed. They were outscored 40-13 in the fourth quarter. They just stopped playing. They lost their focus. They acted like the game was in hand. They stopped running plays on offense and started throwing up three-point shots to pad their stats. And I'm talking to you, Anthony Edwards. They turned the ball over. And then when Milwaukee made a run, they completely lost their composure. This team will not get out of the play-in round.
We're going to find out what the coaching staff is made of the next 24 hours, because if they can get them to turn around and play a solid game and get a solid win at Memphis, that tells you a little bit of something about them. But
doesn't tell me jack squat.
Well, no, I disagree. I mean, as much as it was awful. But you've got to have a short memory, because if you come out and get stopped against Memphis, then you've set yourself in a really precarious situation going into the playoffs.
They were outscored 39-8 over the last 10 minutes of the ball game.
Yeah, it was terrible. I agree with Brad, though. You have to have a short memory. The NBA schedule makers have done such a great job this final week. If you look at the schedule, a lot of these teams in the West that the Wolves are battling play each other. So Golden State and the Clippers, the Lakers, Memphis, Denver, they're playing each other over the course of the next 4 nights, right? And so there's a really good chance that the Timberwolves, if they can beat Memphis, they get Brooklyn and Utah to finish the season. And if it's not, they have to be extremely motivated to win this game against Memphis, because if they do that, they're going to be in a pretty good position to finish this thing out.
This is out of the play-in game.
This is the closest I've ever come to just giving up on a ball club.
No, I get off the ledge.
This is the closest I've ever come, and this team has done some stupid things generally in their history.
I'm the one to be a little bit more negative, but I'm just saying, get off.
I'm pissed off, Brad Ryder.
Let the man vent, Brad.
Now, quite a few people are texting in saying the dude from Denver, Mike Malone, is going to replace Chris Finch at the end of the season.
I don't.
I mean, the way coaches...
The way the coaches are getting fired, he might replace them by the end of the week.
Right. The way coaches leapfrog around, the way franchises fire coaches these days, anything is possible. That Mike Malone was fired as Denver's head coach a couple days ago, which is just stupid.
It's crazy.
It is. It's absolutely... So, no, again, speaking of surprises, no, that wouldn't surprise me if Chris Finch got fired today and they hired
Well,
Mike
that would
Malone.
surprise me. No, I would be surprised by that. I actually would be totally shocked by that if they did that. I mean, what Denver did by dismissing Malone in the final week of the regular season, with his team clinging to what is right now the 5th spot in the playoffs, I don't know if maybe correct me if I'm wrong, Brad. Have you ever seen that before? Where a playoff team decides in the last week, with just a handful of games left, they're going to fire their head coach, tell their GM, you're not coming back either, when the team is right there in the middle of the playoff fight.
Second time this has happened just in the last week, and I don't remember it ever happening before, but it's happened twice now. Memphis did the same thing a few days ago, too. It's not an excusable reason, but the only thing I can think of is just that the ownership figures, hey, at the end of the year, we're going to cut ties with this guy, and so we're going to try to light a fire under some people before the playoff. I don't agree with it, but I think that's probably maybe
it's
what
just
they're
stupid.
thinking.
This Mike Malone won a title with them 2 years ago.
Yeah.
They've gone to the playoffs 8 straight seasons.
He's got the greatest player in the world on his roster.
He's the winningest coach in the damn history of the ball club.
It's amazing.
Unless this Malone guy's been drinking on the job or something like that, that's just ridiculous. But that's how they operate. I'll give you a quote from the Nuggets ownership, if that matters at all to anybody, because you know how they always put a cute little spin on it. This decision was not made lightly. It was evaluated very carefully. We do it only with the intention of giving our group the best chance at competing for a championship and delivering another title to the citizens of Denver.
That sounds like it was written by ChatGPT.
Yeah.
So dumb.
I don't disagree.
And the Wolves
I
are
just
dumb.
don't understand the timing.
Wolves suck. I was just reading the comment the other day. Shaq says that today's NBA players are SAWFT soft. And the
Yes.
first thing I thought is, well, this is a man who used to put a toothbrush up his ass and then feed it to his teammates. Remember a month ago, I vowed to never take Shaq's word for anything anymore. But that's a good word for the Wolves last night. SAWFT effing soft.
I'm not gonna argue the point. It's a monumental collapse. It's embarrassing for the franchise. They're going to have to work extremely hard to get that fan base to be excited about what they're watching, especially if they lose that game in Memphis. That's going to be that game Friday is monumental.
Mm-hmm.
It is monumental on Friday.
Josh, did you write this? This sounds like something you would say. I feel better already after reading this text message from a listener. A listener trying to find the bright side of this Timberwolves colossal goat F last night in Milwaukee. I swear to God, this is Cubby. A listener says, on the positive side, the dire wolf lived, went extinct for 10,000 years, and was brought back to life by science.
I did see that. That's really great.
What in the hell are we talking about?
The dire wolf. George R.R. Martin met one of the dire wolves, the author of Game of Thrones. You know, he's a dire wolf guy. It's back. They brought it back from. It's de-extinct at this point.
So you should tell me I should feel better after reading that?
That wouldn't have been my first thought to cheer you up, but that works for me.
If you saw the video of the cute little pups, you would feel a lot better.
Okay. All right. Cute puppies. Okay. I'll just keep thinking. Keep thinking cute pup. I'm one with the universe. Nothing else matters. A lot of times I have to think about the words of the Swami Baha. I'm one with the universe. Nothing else matters. Memphis Grizzlies guard Ja Morant is now throwing fake grenades to celebrate his three-point basket.
Oh, Jesus
He should have done this before he did the gun thing. I like this a lot better.
He's done with the gun gimmick. Now he's throwing fake grenades.
He's escalated it.
Yes, when he makes a three-point bucket.
He hates the bosses at the NBA.
He does. Hates his bosses. He started that a couple nights ago. Now it's grenades.
That actually kind of cracked me up.
Yeah, that is funny.
I mean, what a douche.
He's just, he doesn't get it.
No, he's doing what he can to piss people off.
Ja Morant doesn't get it.
The best grenade celebration, not celebration, I should say. He was a minor league manager. He got kicked out of the game, and he got his money's worth. He was going on a tantrum. He went and grabbed the rosin bag off the mound, pulled the pin, and threw it up in the air towards the umpires.
Oh, legendary.
Yeah.
Hey, you got to pull the pin.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Ja didn't do that. He didn't pull the pin. At least I didn't see that in the video.
Yeah, I remember that, dude. That's got to be 20 years ago.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
You know, a lot of folks say it was all a setup.
Probably.
Yeah.
It typically is those minor league things.
Minor
but
league
it's
baseball.
Still funny, though.
We don't have many asses in the seats. Let's ask the manager if he'll act like a complete jag-off for a few minutes and get people interested in our ball club.
Oh, I remember he did the army crawl to the mound, too.
Oh, yeah. Ja Morant told reporters, I'm pretty much a villain for 2 years now, so yeah, I don't care no more.
Oh, I don't. That kind of ruins it.
Then there's the effing Twins.
That'll cheer you up.
Can we just skip them?
Who only managed to put one run on the board last night. They lost to the Royals 2-1. It looks like Pablo Lopez might have hurt himself.
And it's, what is it, April 9th today?
Yep. They lost a game. They lost a game last night where the opposite club's runs were scored on 2 fielder's choice groundouts. You can't outscore a couple of RBI groundouts. Royals only came up with 3 hits.
Yeah, the Twins had twice as many hits and lost the game 2-1. Look at the Twins' batting averages to start the season. I mean, if you want to know why this team is as bad as they are, they can't hit the ball.
Have you seen their batting average against left-handed pitching this season?
I'm sure it's awful.
$103.
Yeah, I'm sure it's awful.
Yeah, Buxton struggling. Did he strike out 4 times last night?
He struck out 4 times last night. Miranda struck out 3 times. They struck out 12 times as a team.
Oh.
There's not one. There's in the starting lineup last night, they have 4 players batting under 190.
It says
4 starters. No, I take that back. 5 starters batting under 190.
You can smell them from across the room.
It says their batting average is .220. The worst
as
in
a team.
the MLB. Yep.
Oh, they are the worst?
The lowest team batting average, yeah.
Probably have one of the more higher strikeout rates, too.
Like Randy Shaver said, far too many strikeouts. Just boring baseball so far from this club. They're going to have to really wake the hell up if Pablo Lopez is out for a couple of starts.
Yeah, they'll find out. They're going to do an MRI today. They'll find out more about his situation.
I know that Cole Reagan's dude who started for the Royals is good, but the Twins just suck right now. They committed 3 errors. They play again tonight in Kansas City. The 3rd of 4. Joe Ryan's going to pitch.
Only 151 more to go.
Jesus. Royce Lewis is out for at least 3 more weeks. Brooks Lee is still down and out. Hell, at this point, I'd call Brooks Robinson, and he's been dead for 2 years. Brooks Shields, Garth Brooks. Who else do we? Herb Brooks. Cubby, I'd call Brooks and Dunn.
Brooks and Dunn.
Brooks and Dunn.
Oh, that's a tandem right there.
They'll sing that Maria song that tortured me. Tortured me in Glenwood, Minnesota for many years.
Chaos coordinator Shiza, she just tuned in. She wants to know what happened with the Wolves last night.
You know that Maria song by Brooks and Dunn?
Oh, don't play it.
I'm sorry, Brad Ryder, but when I was up in Glenwood, Minnesota a lot, that was like their crack cocaine after they had 3 beers in Glenwood, Minnesota. They had to listen to that stupid Maria song.
Hi, podcast friend. Sorry. Looks like we played some music on the show today that we need to remove. I don't get it either. My apologies for this brief interruption. Thank you for listening to the podcast. And now back to the show.
Oh, come on! No!
Let's hearing that all day today.
I like the sun.
Oh, my God. Right there. Oh, shut up.
Direwolf.
Baby direwolves. Nothing else matters.
Didn't other groups try to emulate that and cut their version of that even too? What do people see in that song?
Hundreds of bands have done that song, Brad Ryder. Yeah. I don't know.
I like it. It's catchy.
Call Brooks Bollinger. We'll get Brooks Bollinger. I'm sweating so bad right now. Shut up, you. Josh knows that I hate Brown Eyed Girl by what's that guy's name again? Oh, and what do you call this again? Ska?
Mighty Boss Stones?
Ska. I hate ska. For a guy who loves me so much, he sure...
It's good exercise for your heart.
I'm one with the universe. Nothing else matters. None of the rest of you studied the great Swami Baha?
No.
I can't say that I have.
One with the universe, nothing else matters. Puppy dire wolves are alive and well in a zoo in China, or whatever you guys said earlier. I don't know.
I thought you were about to say puppy diarrhea.
Oh, that's no fun.
No.
Not a part of that.
Yes, we know My Maria's a cover tune. Oh, God, this is going to be a long day.
It's okay. Breathe.
I hate that. Yes, everyone knows that it's a friggin' cover tune, but Brooks and Dunn did not have to cover it and then play it at the Glenwood friggin' Lakeside Ballroom every Saturday night for 2.5 years.
I love all this music.
Ashley's over there jamming.
We're going to get Marcus on the phone. He's going to think I'm mad at him. I'm not mad at Marcus.
Ask Marcus what he thought of the Timberwolves game last night.
We will.
Okay.
We will.
Ask him about the Canucks game last night.
That was something.
Did you see that?
Well, I didn't see it, but I read about it.
Holy mackerel. They were down 5-2 with less than a minute left, sent the game into overtime, and won.
Jeez.
Can you imagine if you were... If you needed that game to make the playoffs, or I mean, they're still 6 points back of the Wild, but holy cow, that's incredible. I watched the video like 3 times last night. Amazing. Just amazing.
I got to watch the video. I haven't gotten around to the video. So the Canucks are the first team in, how do you say it, NHL history to overcome a 3-goal deficit in the final minute of regulation. That's mental.
That is just, the odds of that have to be so astronomical.
Can you imagine having money on that game?
What's that?
Can you imagine having money on that game?
God, either side. Either side.
You never bet on hockey.
They were on fire.
Did it look at you? Did the fire look at you? It did.
Ugh. I don't like that.
See, some of you might not be following what that was. But one of my... it's beyond a pet peeve.
You're very irritated by that scene.
One of the most irritating, awful, ridiculous movie scenes ever.
And a good movie.
Great movie.
Oh, it's not great.
Oh,
it's
good.
okay. Overall, okay movie. What do they call it again?
Backdraft.
Back-ass? Backdraft.
Back-ass.
Kiefer Sutherland's dad, Don, wasn't his name Don?
Yes.
Don Sutherland. Don Sutherland plays a psycho petromaniac, and he's interviewed by the police about a series of fires being lit around town.
And he's weirdly horny about it.
And he
Did it look at you?
Did the fire look at you, he says. Stupid. All right, now, what is this now?
Zoot Suit Riot by request.
I can feel my blood vessels tightening.
I actually don't mind this kind of music.
Yeah, that's that should be theme music for one of your guests.
Brad, you are no longer a friend of mine. This crap, this swing dance crap.
Oh, it's awesome.
You know better than that, Brad Ryder. I can feel my blood vessels are narrowing. The only movie scene worse than Did the Fire Look at You? Twister, The Finger of God. All the dork tornado chasers are having a delicious meal with some old lady who likes them for some reason. And they're talking about a tornado and an F5. Right, that's all it took, right, Josh, at the dinner table? Someone said F5 out loud, and then all the tornado dorks stopped talking as if, a death had happened right in front of them. All you have to do is say F5, and then one of them says, the finger of God. Oh, by the way, is this a joke? The Twins signed a left-handed relief pitcher yesterday named Richard Lovelady. Is that a joke? A guy named Dick Lovelady?
That's a real guy.
Dick Lovelady.
Yeah, he's legit.
What are the parents thinking?
I don't know.
In that case.
No, I don't know.
Richard could be a family name, I guess.
Of course.
Yeah, but you get
middle name.
No one's putting a gun to your head and making you name your kid Dick Lovelady. Effing
That's
family
a good point.
name. It's been a terrible day.
It's about to get better.
I know it's going to get better because we got Marcus Foligno on the telephone. Hang on a second before we say anything to Marcus. Our Minnesota Wild Update is brought to you by Luther Kia of Bloomington. We've been having a terrible day, Marcus. How are you?
I'm having a great day.
Well, a little bit of that has to rub off on us because
stuck in traffic here this morning, but you know what? It's all right.
I'd rather be stuck in traffic right now, Marcus Foligno, than be
You'd rather be playing in traffic right now.
I would. I'd rather be walking blindly across heavy traffic. We were talking about the Timberwolves were just terrible last night and blew it in the fourth quarter. Do you watch any basketball, Marcus?
I can't lie to you. No, not a lot.
Okay, but you're a baseball fan.
Yeah. I like baseball. I like keep up the tabs with the Twins, and I like to. I'm actually going to get to a game here when the time's right.
Okay, and the Twins are just terrible. So that's what we've been talking about. The Wolves just wet the bed terribly last night, and the Twins can't seem to get anything going. And then everyone else started torturing me. And so, we need you.
They lost a barn burner last night, right? 2-1 or something?
Yeah, it was a barn burner. The Twins have been strong. Thank you for joining us, Marcus. And it was really nice to meet you last weekend over there at Ridgedale at the autograph signing. You guys had a friggin' huge crowd over there.
Yeah, I did not expect that. That was pretty cool. I mean, I've never seen, I think with all the guys coming out, it drew a pretty good crowd. Probably since Matt Boldy was the headliner.
Right.
And, it was good. It was obviously awesome to do that stuff from time to time for our fans. And the fan HQ, those guys do a great job setting that all up.
The Fan HQ people are great. I mean,
They sent me a T-shirt. Thank you, Sean, by the way. Sean knows how much of a fan I am. Sean from Fan HQ sent me a T-shirt.
What's it say on it?
It says Team Sean. Which I'm on.
Oh, cute.
I am on Team Sean.
I mean, really, honestly, Marcus, that crowd, the entire mall was choked with fans. It was like a boy band was in town or something.
They had us set up in the middle there, and I almost felt like that's where Santa Claus is. It's Christmas time, so it just kind of felt, it felt like it's a little bit of that vibe where you had looked up at the people at the top, the second level, were staring down at you like you're about to perform something. So there was a little bit of pressure, high pressure at that time, but just had to sign my name, so it was pretty easy.
Yeah, I mean, really, it was, you were bigger than Santa Claus last Saturday at Ridgedale Mall. You had a bunch of your teammates with you, so it was really nice to meet you. Do you have any autographs that you cherish?
That's a good question. I mean, me and my brother were big hockey card collectors when we were younger. We had the whole binders and everything.
Yeah.
The biggest thing I think I have signed is a Patrick Waugh hockey stick, like a mini stick back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
That's like when it comes to celebrities or singers, I don't have much for them. It's usually, I think it's just hockey guys.
What do you think of the song "My Maria" by Brooks and Dunn? Brooks and Dunn. Do you know the country act Brooks and Dunn?
Yeah. Do you have something signed by them?
No, I don't have any Brooks and Dunn autographed memorabilia, nor do I want any. But we were listening to the song earlier. Oh, God, here it is, Marcus. Tell us if
a great song.
Heck yeah.
Come on!
Thank you, Marcus.
Ma Maria. That's a great jam. Don't you know I was
Oh, my God. That's great.
God. So you don't have any...
I think it's his hairstyle that gets me right now. That's what's crazy.
Whose hairstyle?
I don't know if you ever seen... I think it's got the Brooks, right?
Oh, he's got kind of curly, long hair?
Yeah, but it's kind of flat. I don't know if you've seen the latest Country Music Awards, but yeah, he's still jamming, but he just looks like he's stuck in like a 20-year-old-ish hairstyle vibe.
Okay, I'd have to go back and watch the replay of the Country Music Award. Brooks and Dunn still doing their thing, Marcus Foligno says.
That's a great song. I don't know who would say that's a bad song. That's a great song.
It sounds like a setup to me. Sounds like a setup. All right, so yeah, you had a great crowd last Saturday. You got the San Jose Sharks tonight. That's 7 o'clock. And that's a club who is on paper the worst in the National Hockey League. And here you are in this, tight race to grab that final playoff spot. So, I mean, it's a situation where, all you gotta do is handle your business. You guys should be all right tonight, But this is a guy who watched last night's Wolves game, so I don't know.
No, exactly. We just got to show up and outwork them. And these are games that I think we've had enough experience in over the years that realize that, when you go up against a team that doesn't have really much to play for at this time of year and you got everything to play for, you just got to show up and the work ethic's got to be there. So
do your job.
Do our job and stay with it. They're not always the easiest games, but we'll be just fine. I think we know what's on the line and how big this game is tonight. And if we can just have the same outing like we did against Dallas, we'll be just fine.
What's with you playing on the top line now with Boldy and Marco Rossi? How's that been going for you? Everyone's been talking about seeing Moose on the top line. Good for you.
Yeah, it's good. You just had to pay the coach a little bit earlier. So should have done this a long time in my career. No. You know what? I think it's just you get an opportunity with two players, and I know it's a top line, but our lines are kind of all in the mix lately, and it's just got to be ready when called upon, and I think just to help out Bolds and Marco with just space and give them more time and play my game direct and physical and all that stuff, it just helps them out. So it's been good. I think that the balance of our team, it helps it out a little bit, and just trying to do my job to stay there, right? You can get called up to the first line, but if you don't do much, you're gonna go right back down to the line you came from. So it's been good. It's been fun playing with those guys.
I think it's a final push to get you at the empty net record.
Oh, there it is.
There it is. I know. I was hoping it was coming in Dallas, but then they scored one late, so I was like, dang it. But we'll see.
It's not going to work this year. It doesn't look like it's going to work this year. You got a few more games left, but I guess anything can happen. What'd you think of Sunday when Ovechkin got the record?
Oh, it was incredible. I mean, we watched that live. Like I think we were warming up because it was a TNT game, so we knew ours was starting a little bit later because of their game. So we were all kind of in the back room with the TV on, and we saw the power play come on, and so we all kind of said, "Oh, there's a good chance that he might score now." And it was unbelievable how it got set up to be kind of in that same spot that he always shoots from, and he just ripped a wrist shot, and yeah, just unbelievable. I mean, 895 goals is insane. To tie a record, to be in the same area, his name is Wayne Gretzky is insane. So, he is the greatest goal scorer of all time, and it's pretty cool to be around a guy that you can go up against and have played against a lot of times and seen it firsthand. And you also feel really good when he doesn't score against you that night, so you feel like you did your job. But it's a wild stat to have and feat for him. So pretty cool to be in that era.
Maybe you had to get his autograph.
Yeah, I know a couple of guys asked for some sticks last time we played them, so we'll see if there's one laying around there. But yeah, he's got one more year hopefully on his deal, so maybe I'll get him next year for something. Maybe his last year in the league or what have you. But special player, and obviously just the way he plays, the style of play too, is pretty cool.
I read kind of a fun story about Ovechkin the other day. Obviously scored on a lot of goaltenders on his way to 895 goals. One of his former goalie teammates reached out to Ovechkin to congratulate him and got kind of an unexpected response. Former NHL goalie Olaf Kolzig. I'm sure you remember Oli the goalie.
Yeah, that's right.
So Kolzig talked about this on Twitter. Kolzig texted Ovechkin and said, "Congratulations." And Ovechkin got back to him and said, "Hey, man, you're a part of history." And Kolzig said, "Well, what are you talking about? You only scored on me once." And Ovechkin got back and said, "No, dude, you assisted on 5 of my goals." So cool. Kolzig wasn't even aware. He had to look it up. And yes, it's true. Kolzig was the secondary assist on 5 of Ovechkin's 895 goals. Now,
that's crazy.
He was shocked. He said, did he know this off the top of his head? Did he look it up? But Ovechkin, nice enough guy, even gave Oli the goalie a little credit for the heights he has reached.
Yeah, I think goal scorers have that. I bet you can probably ask Ovechkin and all the goals he scores, most of them. Those cases, like a goalie can touch it behind the net, right, and lay it for a defenseman. Defenseman can snap it up to Ovechkin. Ovechkin can put it in for the slap shot and secondary assists or off of empty net goals and stuff like that. Goalie usually pick up assists. So it's just goes to show you the dead person Ovechkin is. That he knows who helped him out along the way and who's been there for it. So that's pretty cool to see.
Nice guy. Story. Nice freaking guy. Oh, yeah. Man. I remember Oli the goalie.
Did you see the goalies that didn't get scored on by Ovechkin? I think Budweiser was handing them a bunch of, I think it says 0, because maybe 0 calories or whatever, but it's like a 0 Budweiser goal. So they're handing it to all the goalies that didn't get scored on by Ovechkin.
Oh, really?
That's awesome. That's hilarious.
So that was a cool thing by Budweiser.
So Budweiser's like calling up any goalie who ever played against Ovechkin, and if they did not give up a goal, they're getting free beer?
I think so, yeah. It's like it comes in a case and everything, too.
That's awesome.
Like 0 Budweiser beer or something.
That's cool.
Some of the alumni. So it's pretty cool.
That is pretty special. One more thing for you, Marcus Foligno, and we appreciate you joining us. Were you on your way to practice or something like that?
Yeah, still got a lot of time here.
Traffic sucks?
Traffic. Yeah, it's around that airport. The weather's coming. weather's getting nicer, so the construction comes out even more. It's awesome. I love how it works.
Yeah, road construction. As soon as the weather clears up, then it's road construction season. Do you want to listen to any Violent Femmes or any ska music or anything while we wait?
I'll probably just listen to My Maria by Brooks and Dunn.
Okay, Brooks and Dunn.
Back to school to prove to Dad.
You like
that
Adam
I'm
Sandler?
not a fool. I got my lunch packed up, my boots tied. I hope I don't get in a fight.
Oh,
back to school.
He knows it.
It's all time.
Oh, I love that you know that.
Here, I thought we were. I thought we were going to be friends.
When it's back to school, I say that to the girls when they go out the door.
Oh, that's so cute. So, are you excited for the?
They don't get it, but it's a pretty good laugh.
Are you excited for the second Happy Gilmore movie to come out?
I am.
Oh, I think we lose him. Marcus.
Oh, you hear me now?
There we go. We got you.
Yeah, sorry. I don't know if you guys saw that, but Shooter McGavin was at our game against Dallas Stars.
No.
Oh, wow,
yes,
I missed that.
Yes, I did see that.
He did the Let's Play Hockey chant. So at the end of the game, we're in the workout room after, and he walks in with Billy Garrett. So we got to take some pictures with him and got to meet him. And he is exactly. I thought he would break character, but no, he stayed in character. He is jazzed up. He's doing the guns. He's shooting everyone in the room.
Oh my gosh, that's a
awesome.
blast.
It was like that was a bucket list. Meeting Shooter McGavin.
Sounds like your dream come true, Nick.
Well, I don't mind that guy.
No, you like it? Is it because he's the a-hole?
Well, I mean, he's a funny character actor. I'm not an Adam Sandler guy. I thought when we met over the weekend, Marcus, that we would become friends. I don't know at this point. Brooks and Dunn fan, Adam Sandler. Okay, one more thing real quick. You're a baseball fan. Do you play fantasy baseball, Marcus?
No.
Okay. Randy Shaver, you're a fantasy baseball guy, right?
I am, yes.
Cody Bellinger was out of the Yankees lineup a day or two ago because he caught food poisoning after eating bad wings.
What a league. What a league.
Cubby like wingy, right?
Oh, yeah, I love wing. Not like Dana, but I sure do enjoy him.
He ate, they're calling it food poisoning. He was with the new guy in the corner puking his guts out all night on Monday night because of a batch of bad chicken wings. You guys being...
fantasy baseball is a lot of work. Is it a lot of work, Randy?
It is a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun, though.
Okay. Maybe we start getting that going next season on the team.
It sounds like Bellinger, he's on the road. He's playing in Pittsburgh. He ordered up some wings, and then he got sick. When you guys are on the road, are you pretty careful about who you order from and whatnot?
Yeah, I mean, like we're not. Yeah, there's not. You're not going to kind of. You're eating some. Everything's kind of catered by the team. We have like a nutritionist. So we get some nice fresh food. Let's put it that way.
Okay, so you guys don't all pile into one room and then order from Rocky Rococo or anything like that.
Right, exactly.
That's actually very rare for any sports team to do that.
That's what I'd want to do. I don't want the healthy stuff. I don't want the nutritionist bothering me on a Saturday night. I want to call Rocky Rococo.
It's kind of like that, the flu game for Michael Jordan. Remember, the story is that he got food poisoning from the pizza at the hotel the night before, and that's how he ended up getting sick for that infamous flu game.
Yeah.
So you have to, I mean, that's a thing. People, you get on the road. Sometimes people either intentionally or not intentionally that can happen.
I would take that as a compliment if someone in town sabotaged my meal.
They considered you that much of a threat.
Somebody from a rival radio station
really want to get you.
Sabotage your food. You couldn't go on the air tomorrow.
Something tells me, Nick, it wouldn't be a flu game that would be the issue for you.
Oh, no.
It would be the other end. Yes.
Cha-cha-cha. Hey, Marcus, go get it done tonight against the San Jose Sharks. We always appreciate your time, my man.
Thanks, guys. Thanks. Appreciate it. You guys have a great day.
You too. Our Minnesota Wild update brought to you by Luther Kia of Bloomington. Oh, for Christ's sake.
Oh, now we're talking.
They also have a huge game against Calgary on Friday night, too.
Yeah, the Flames are in there somewhere.
That's a big game Friday night.
Josh was playing Blink 182. I hate them.
Josh knows how to pull all the strings.
Well, he knows me pretty well.
He's pretty vocal.
So Nick, you're not going to read the Mark Hoppus autobiography that came out yesterday?
I would rather read my own obituary.
You know what would make you feel better today is if the Vikings announced today they signed Aaron Rodgers.
You would actually like
that. Would make you feel better.
Kidding, Brad Ryder. Oh, my damn, would this be the perfect day for that kind of pick-me-up? That would be. Thank you for bringing that up, Brad. Because now I feel better just anticipating the possibility. Ooh, I want that to happen so bad. Cubby, I can taste it.
Well, something's going on with the Steelers. This thing is not getting done, so maybe there is a chance.
Come on. What's the head coach's name again? O'Conrad?
Tomlin. Oh, our coach.
Yeah.
I think Rodgers is waiting him out.
I think so, too.
I think he's waiting out the Vikings. I do.
Sure seems that way, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That GM we got, whatever that kid's name is, get it done. Quit friggin' blue balling us with this Aaron Rodgers.
He wants to be here instead of Pittsburgh, and he's waiting him out.
We want him here. So that's a perfect marriage.
I would definitely welcome that circus.
Perfect situation.
It's exactly what it would be, too. Circus.
Brad Ryder, Randy Shaver. I'm a little bit sorry I blew up.
But you needed to get it out.
It's been a rough morning.
It's been a rough morning. There's no doubt about it. For Minnesota sports fans, we have had, it's just another notch in the belt. So
friggin' unbelievable.
Yep.
The way they operate sometimes. We'll talk to you guys later.
See ya.
Okay. We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Well, there's my beautiful podcast, people. Everybody good? All right, great to hear. Thanks, as always, for listening to the podcast. And, of course, thanks to our friends at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning for making it all possible. Can we believe it's April already? And like the old saying goes, April showers brings gross, disgusting humidity and heat in May. Beat the heat and the summer rush. Have Standard Heating and Air Conditioning out to work on that AC soon. April is the best month to get your air conditioning wrenched on before the huge summer rush starts. So get on that today. Go to standardheating.com and schedule that AC tune-up. Thanks for listening. We love you podcasters. Enjoy the show.
NBA veteran Jim Jackson takes you on the court.
You get a chance to dig into my 14-year career in the NBA and also get the input from the people that will be joining. Charles Barkley.
I'm excited to be on your podcast, man. It's an honor.
Spike Lee, entrepreneur, filmmaker, Academy Award winner.
Knicks fans.
So, now you see, I got you. But also how sports brings life, passion, music, all of this together.
The Jim Jackson Show, part of the Rich Eisen Podcast Network. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Oh, man, can you even believe it? It is 8:33 here on the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show, or anywhere else for that matter, really, here in town. Thank you for listening. Anyone have any thoughts on this? Celebrities that people think would smell bad. Celebrities people think would smell bad. I'll go first. Rob Zombie and Kid Rock. I bet you Rob Zombie smells like hippie hair products, Josh, and Kid Rock smells like stale beer, cigarettes, and whores.
Rob Zombie would be number one for me. He looks like he could be a tad odoriferous for a gentleman of his size, even.
And doesn't Johnny Depp brag about not showering?
I don't know if he does specifically, but we've heard stories. Woody Harrelson, we've heard, is a bit on the pungent side.
Oh. Ashton Kutcher and his wife, Mila Kunis, have said that they don't shower often.
Mila Kunis cannot shower for 5 years, and I would be all over it.
You still would go for it?
Yes, absolutely.
Because of her portrayal of Meg on the Family Guy?
Exactly.
100%.
Talking the Meg voice, baby.
Meg was pretty hot. Celebrities that people think would smell bad. This is something that the godless internet has been talking about. Here's who they named. Feel free to text in, of course, 651-989-9393 if you have a thought on a celebrity that might smell bad. Already somebody said Carrot Top. I don't know, that guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I understand that.
He's odd looking, but I don't think that he...
Seems like a guy that wears a lot of cologne, like too much cologne.
Jared Leto gets picked on quite a bit.
Jared Leto?
Jared Leto, people think he looks like he might smell a little bad.
Does he just dress kind of slovenly. I couldn't. I wouldn't be able to pick Jared
yes
Leto
no.
out of a crowd. But we've already named a few of these people.
Zach Wilde, up at the crack of dawn. Jesus, Zach Wilde, I would never say that to his face, but we might have some experience.
Dude, who texted in Zach Wilde?
Up at the crack of dawn, Jesus.
Hey, brother, we can confirm that.
Yes. At least the time we met him.
Dude.
One of my all-time heroes.
It was not good. Oh, yeah, good answer. Dennis Rodman looks like he reeks.
Oh, yeah. And just in a weird way.
Yeah, weird way. John Daly, good answer. Yeah, I bet he smells, just like old sweat and body odor.
No, I bet he just smells like cigarettes.
Yeah, cigarettes and buffalo sauce and whiskey.
Yeah, that smells kind of comforting. Reminds me of my dad.
Here are some of the celebrities named in this online report. The ones who people think they would smell bad. Post Malone.
Yeah, he's at the top of every list like this.
I did not know there were. They said this subject had been breached already.
Yes, I think we've even breached it.
We have?
Yeah.
I hate myself. How long ago?
It was a long time ago.
Yeah,
okay, good.
Yeah, it was a couple months ago,
good.
maybe.
Oh, no.
Yeah, Post Malone, yes, he gets picked on, and he does kind of have that look.
Oh.
It's all the tattoos, I think, just do it for him.
My memory's getting so bad.
And he starts drinking Bud Light at like 8 a.m. every morning.
Is that a part of a commercial, or does he really?
Yeah.
No, he does. Loves his Bud Light.
Mickey Rourke.
Yes.
Yeah. I remember, decades ago, a comic cracked me up, and I can't let it go. When a comic said MICKEYROURKE, Mickey Rourke. He's always drunk. And then I can't remember the rest of the bit, but I haven't seen him in years. I haven't seen him since he made that movie, The Wrestler.
He doesn't look like he washes his hair.
Yeah, he does funny things with... I have a hard time believing that's his actual hair, but...
Here's a gentleman or lady, I guess I don't know, who said they've worked some music venues, and by far Zach Wilde was the worst smelling artist. But he's the type of guy, I mean, nobody's going to tell him. He'll choke you out.
Oh, what are you talking? Someone just texted in to say, I bet you Gene Hackman doesn't smell too good right now. What the hell's the matter with you?
Nah.
That's just friggin' mean.
It's not right.
I think the internet would say too soon.
Yes.
Did they ever figure out what happened there? I remember there was some controversy, and then the story kind of stopped.
It sounds like there's not controversy anymore.
There's not controversy.
Yeah, it's a weird deal, though.
Okay. It's weird how the story suddenly abruptly stopped. To me, it seemed that way.
They've still been published, but it's like slowly coming out more. What's weird is how the investigation has changed so many times. That's what's so odd about it.
Stop texting in Tara Reid. Stop it. I know what you're doing. You're trying to make a bad day for me even worse.
2 pumps and a squeeze, Jesus, says Shia LaBeouf. Well, we met him once. Now, this was before he was ever a star, and he was just fine.
I haven't seen the guy in years. I mean, the last time I saw...
super young. I mean, not that he's old now, but...
The last time I saw Jonathan Booth, what's his name again?
Shia.
Shia LaBeouf. This was 20 years ago. He was a kid, and he was very clean cut.
It was way clean cut. It was before he ever... Oh, here's another one. Sorry, I distracted myself. From the real Al Bundy, Jesus, Nick Nolte. Yeah, he does kind of look like that. That's a good one.
One of my favorites all time, Nick Nolte. Oh, my damn. I love some of the things that he's done. But back to Shia LaBeouf. I haven't seen the guy. Has he let himself go? Is he?
He kind of looks hippie-ish in a way.
And Zach Wilde, he's still hanging on to that friggin' Captain Caveman thing.
Oh yeah, I watched a lot of his videos.
Enough already.
Jonathan Davis from HVAC Delivery Jesus. Yep, good one. Very good. I'm not confirming that. He just has that look.
Any rock star who insists on the leather, you know what I mean? The heavy leather outfit, you have to assume they smell terrible underneath that outfit. So Jonathan Davis, I think, is a good answer.
Marilyn Manson seems like he probably kicks out something weird.
Breath.
Yeah.
I imagine his breath is bad. He looks like he has bad breath. All right, where else did they go with this? And thank you for your text. We love it. This guy's been dead for years. Larry King? Isn't he dead?
Yeah, he's dead.
Okay. He looked...
I always thought he looked kind of well put together.
Well, is that another death joke?
Maybe.
Or what? Because he always looked... Well put together.
I guess
But I bet he had that stale grandpa coffee breath.
That's exactly what I was going to say, Dana. Yeah, he looks like he has the classic old people smell, or did have it.
Okay, we're going with coffee breath.
Oh, here's one. Shotgun Messiah Jesus, Billy Bob Thornton. Yeah, that's a good one. By the way, Landman on Paramount Plus, love it.
Oh, that show's amazing.
Still haven't seen it.
You got to watch it, Ashley. You really enjoy it.
Landman.
So good in that. That's probably my favorite thing he's ever done. Landman. He's great.
Well, I'm in the dark, so tell me, what's the premise?
It's, he's like a guy that kind of is the dude that he doesn't own an oil company, but he's the man on the ground, right? He's the guy that kind of really is in charge of everything, making sure things flow smooth, pardon the pun. And he's like the guy, like a fixer.
Okay. Kills people?
No, not that kind of fixer.
Oh. Jake the Snake Roberts doesn't look so appetizing. Okay, fine. Text coming in. I'm trying my best to keep up with him.
Courtney Love. Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Jesus, you want to dial up the Wayback Machine.
Yeah.
I haven't thought about Courtney Love in decades.
Man, imagine sharing an Uber with her. Woof.
Jelly Roll. A few people saying Jelly Roll.
I don't know. What does he look like?
He's a big boy, face tattoos.
Yeah, he kind of looks like, who were we just talking about?
Post Malone.
Post Malone, but quite a bit heavier.
Yeah, but he's losing weight, though. He ran like a half marathon or something.
Did you really?
Yeah.
That's impressive. I couldn't run a half
No,
marathon.
I couldn't walk a half marathon.
According to this here article, here's Kid Rock and Jared Leto. We mentioned them already. Someone called Grimes.
Oh, yeah. A lot of people know them because, wait, let me make sure I'm correct. I believe they are Elon Musk's
Is that
ex.
his wife? It's ex?
That's a lady?
Yeah.
Yes.
Grimes, Grimes. Okay.
That's not his wife anymore?
I'm not
maybe they
exactly
weren't
sure.
married.
Ooh, good one. Yeah, Luka Doncic looked like he looks like he has body odor.
Oh, Peja Stojakovic. You remember that name, Nick?
Yeah.
Oh, that dude stunk.
Oh, you met him?
Yeah, a couple times. He was definitely one of those guys that, no need to shower. I'll just throw some cologne on. I'll be fine.
Oh, I hate when people do that.
Kesha. I got it 2 strikes.
I love that lady. She's my girl.
Does she look like she smells bad?
Yeah.
Does she really? I never would have thought that.
Especially when I listened to her when I was growing up, she gave off like that party girl vibe, never shower, always smelling like whiskey and vomit.
I'll tell you what, I was in an elevator a number of years ago with a guy who smelled really, really bad.
Yeah, he kind of has that.
I wonder who.
Oh, my damn.
School bus master Tech Jesus, who's checking in from North Carolina. By the way, thank you for that. Steve Buscemi, another good one.
Yeah.
He kind of has that look.
Kind of funny looking.
Vince Neil.
Vince Neil. Here's John Depp. We mentioned him. Adam Sandler. Yeah, always with the sweat shorts and whatnot and a basketball under his arm. Yeah, he looks like he smells bad. Justin Bieber. What are you kidding me? I bet he smells beautiful.
Yeah.
No, him now? Yeah, I bet he smells really bad.
Really?
Yeah, he gives off that vibe hard.
What is he doing with himself now?
I don't know. Something's going on with him, though. Somebody should probably check on him.
I bet he smells delicious. Madonna, I also bet she smells incredible all the time.
I think she's also one of those hippy-dippy, I don't shower or wear deodorant types.
Oh, is she?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Maybe I'm wrong.
I did not know.
Who the hell is James Corden?
James Corden?
Oh, the British carpool karaoke guy, the late-night host.
Oh, here's another one. Patrick, yeah. Russell Brand.
Oh.
I bet you're 100% right on that.
That man's in some trouble.
He tends to get that way.
The hair.
Some stuff.
He's in trouble? Do we want to know?
No.
All right.
He's been accused of some pretty awful things.
I don't know who Dr. Oz is, but according to this article, he appears to smell bad. Dr.
Yeah, I bet he's got that old man smell.
Really? Yeah.
Ed Sheeran?
he tends to be sweaty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's the hairdo that makes him look like he smells bad.
Does he sweat very easily when he's on stage singing a song?
Yes.
Yeah,
Sheeran?
Doesn't seem like just when he's singing. He just kind of always seems like he's sweating a bit. He's glistening. Oh, yeah, Miley Cyrus, certain parts of her life. Yeah, I bet you're right.
Oh, no,
Yeah, she went through some smelly stages.
No.
Yeah, Axl Rose.
Yeah.
Danny DeVito.
No.
Are you guys familiar with the singer Andrew WK?
Yeah.
I once introduced him on stage, and he gave me a hug, and I wish he hadn't done that.
Oh, pretty bad?
Pretty bad. pretty
Nervous
rough.
sweat?
Lots and lots and lots of texts coming in on who our listeners think might smell like ass celebrities.
One of the coolest dudes I know was a guitar player for Andrew WK back in the day.
Not everybody can say that they...
Well, that's not what I was saying.
No, I understand that.
But yeah.
Not everyone can say they linked up with a living legend like whoever Andrew WK is.
Well, he's got that party song. And
Please don't.
And then he's got he's got a friendship with our mutual friend who played guitar with him.
He's married to Kat Dennings, though. He's got to be doing something.
Oh, heck yeah.
That's the tattoo lady?
I don't know.
No,
her.
she's from Two Broke Girls, an actress. Very busty.
Sure.
She's the brunette, right?
I know
yeah.
who you're talking about.
Oh, she's such a babe.
She's absolutely terrific.
She's in a new TV show with your favorite person in the world, Tim Allen.
Oh yeah. I saw I've seen that commercial a couple hundred times.
It's pretty cute.
I'll be cutting ads for that show when it's in reruns. I'll tell you that.
93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
You gotta be kidding me. Who greenlit this garbage?
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Yeah, I hear you. We're getting there. The subject: celebrities that you think appear to smell terrible. And a lot of text messages have come in. I got to tell a funny story real quick, Cubby, or at least I hope it comes off funny. A few people joked and texted in that, I look like I smell bad. Dana looks like he smells bad. Cubby and Ashley didn't get picked on. Haha.
You smell amazing all the time, Nick. I don't really smell you, Dana, because we're not in the same studio, but...
You used to be. You sat right next to him.
Oh, I guess, I don't know. You don't smell bad, but you don't... It's not like an overwhelming...
I'm a neutral?
Well, yeah, you're neutral, but...
I'll take it.
You just look like it.
The word you're using for me is amazing.
Yeah, because you always smell like Axe body spray.
I do.
I love that smell.
I pump gallons of Axe body spray on my body every chance I get. So, appreciate you thinking of us as celebrities, but that's absolutely ridiculous. So there have been some ball-busting text messages about how I might appear to smell bad and Dana might appear to smell bad. There was, Josh, quite a few years ago, there was I wish I could remember who this kid was, but he interned here, and then he also went and interned on another morning show in town, right? And I ran into the kid, and I asked him, how's that internship going at this other morning show? And he said, it's fine. But he told me that this other morning show in town asked him about us. What is it like to work with those people? And this kid said, they were fun. And the host of this other morning show said, I've never met them in person, but I've seen them around town, and their direct quote was, Josh looks like a nice, well-put-together guy, but Nick looks very unwashed and like he smells bad.
God.
Yeah.
I'll beat somebody up for you, Nick.
Yeah.
That's just rude.
What somebody's
what a
asked
weird
for.
thing to say.
Well, whatever, All right.
Hater.
Before we get out of here are some more takes from our listening audience on celebrities that they think in person might smell terrible. Well, one of our listeners can confirm that Mike Tyson smells bad in person.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah. Pete Davidson finishes halfway in Jesus, mentions Pete Davidson. That seems like a good call, too.
He looks unhealthy.
Yeah, he does.
Especially he's getting all those tattoos removed right now. So if you caught him right after he had one of those marathon tattoo removal sessions, I bet that would stink.
Just burned skin.
So heartbreaking.
Another guy I haven't seen in a long time. I mean, there was a time when he was all over television commercials, and now I haven't. Okay, I can at least... A couple of months ago, I met this celebrity in person, and he did not smell bad at all. He smelled quite nice, and that's Mick Foley. I understand his wardrobe, and he's
missing teeth.
Yes, he's another one of those Captain Caveman guys with the beard and everything. This is one we should have come up with right away. She smells like burning vaginas. Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yeah. And people are saying along those lines, Lisa Kudrow. Just both kind of hippie.
Oh, really?
Hippie.
Oh, I didn't know that about Lisa Kudrow. I always thought she looked quite... a listener says, Guy Fieri looks like he sweats mayonnaise.
Yeah. Yeah, or charred meats. Yeah, I can see that.
He definitely seems like a guy that pumps the cologne a lot, too.
He's the cook who can't stop it with the hair dye and everything.
That's the guy.
Yep. That's him.
Barefooted G-Pair Jesus said Jennifer Coolidge. He's got a crush on her, but he just thinks she smells probably a little musty.
When you said her name, Josh, musty was the first word that came to mind.
Is it serious?
Yeah, it was.
You see, he probably carries around a Big Mom purse with emergency perfume and Dentine, is what he said.
Slipknot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amy Schumer.
Oh.
Amy Schumer, this person's that crazy cat man, Jesus.
God dang, another one of those characters where they were everywhere for a while, and now, not that I've got my thumb on the pulse of pop culture, but I haven't seen her. The Undertaker, they say here, Christ, he's been walking around dead for about 30 years. Jack Black.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
He is another one that always seems to be sweating.
That reminds me, I got to watch Nacho Libre again. It's been a couple of months since I watched Nacho Libre, one of the most enjoyable films ever made.
What about Meatloaf? That's not a death joke, just what he looked like when he was alive. He was also very sweaty.
He was a sweater. Guy. He was a sweater, and he always wore a lot of clothes because he wanted to cover up his physique. Yeah, Meatloaf is a good Yeah, here's one right here. I can smell Dana through the speakers. Another listener says, all this talk about smell got me thinking about how good Josh's mother smells.
Oh, come on, man.
When we do it.
We almost got through the whole show today, Josh.
I've seen the texts come in. Don't think those escaped me. I saw what you guys did. Seth Rogen. Probably smells like stale weed.
Yeah.
Yes, Jesus.
I don't know. I think he looks like he smells really good.
Did anyone say Jim Morrison yet?
I don't believe so.
No.
Because I thought it was kind of a well-known fact in the rock and roll circles in the 60s. You did not want to have a conversation with Jim Morrison because he was just the most unwashed sumbitch that ever lived. Looked good at times on
Handsome
stage
guy, yeah.
and in person, but I guess he was just a turd with ears.
Sam Kinison.
Oh, geez, he probably was that guy. I agree with this one. Alexander Ovechkin does look like he smells terrible.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Brett Burns, once he kind of grew out his hair and everything.
Again, another one of those Captain Caveman guys. Some folks really, really went for it here in naming a celebrity that they think probably smells bad in person. Jason Kubel.
Oh, wow. I never got that impression.
Kubel catching strays.
We're going back to early 2000s Twins baseball and picking on Jason Kubel. Or maybe this person knew him, and 1987 Guns N' Roses is a great answer.
Oh, yeah.
What about the host of Bar Rescue, John Taffer?
Never saw it.
Yeah.
John Taffer.
Oh, yes, Dana.
Can't you just see him smelling like cold cuts all the time, actually?
100%.
Bonnie Blue, isn't she the world record gangbang lady?
Yeah, she does look like she smells bad.
And the entire band, the Black Eyed Peas.
I don't even know what they look like.
I don't either. That was fun. Well, we got to get going again, Josh. You got any final Steven Tyler's a good answer.
Oh, that's a great answer.
Yes.
Great
you
answer.
got any final messages out of that adorable mouth of yours?
Oh, stop it. We got a couple. Happy third anniversary to Water Restoration Jesus and his smoking hot better half. Happy birthday to Swamp Ass Lineman Jesus from Nate Outdoors Jesus. Happy 13th to you, Kenley, and take it away, Dano.
It's the reunion we've all been waiting for. Shawn Michaels, Marty Jannetty, the Rockers are back. I wish. It's Oasis Live 25. The Gallagher brothers are bringing their tour to the U.S. this summer, and we want to send you to see them at the iconic Rose Bowl Stadium in L.A. You can score a trip for two, round-trip air, 2-night stay. We'll put $250 in your pocket, and a pair of tickets to see Oasis live in concert with special guest Cage the Elephant. Text this national keyword to 95819. That's 95819. The keyword is definitely. I hope your autocorrect is working. Definitely.
Oh, why do we keep doing it?
What the heck?
No, I've never spelled that word right in the first try in my life.
Nobody wants us to give away this prize.
That is ridiculous.
The keywords have been, you know, whether it's silent letters or ones that are commonly screwed up. Why?
How about we just use the name of one of the singers in the band, you know? Okay, but I don't want to confuse things. So the word is what?
Definitely.
Okay.
To 95819 for your chance to win that flyaway to Oasis. Definitely to 95819.
93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
You gotta be kidding me. Who greenlit this garbage?
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Well, there's my beautiful podcast, people. Everybody good? All right, great to hear. Thanks, as always, for listening to the podcast. And, of course, thanks to our friends at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning for making it all possible. Can we believe it's April already? And like the old saying goes, April showers brings gross, disgusting humidity and heat in May. Beat the heat and the summer rush. Have Standard Heating and Air Conditioning out to work on that AC soon. April is the best month to get your air conditioning wrenched on before the huge summer rush starts. So get on that today. Go to standardheating.com and schedule that AC tune-up. Thanks for listening. We love you podcasters. Enjoy the show.